It is the 15th day of September 2019. Thank you so much for joining us. You're watching NTV at 1. My name is Zainab Ismail. Now, Deputy President William Ruto has urged the youth to seize the opportunities presented by the government. The Deputy President further said that the government has lined up development projects that could improve the lives of those living in the coast region. It was in Changamwe, Mombasa, where Ruto once again explained the hustler label, maintaining that he struggled during his early life.
Nimekuja kuwaambia vile tunaweza kwenda mbele pamoja. Ninyi mnanielewa? Nasikizeni wangwana wa Changamwe. Hata na mimi unaniona nikisimama hapa, wakati mmoja nilikuwa nauza kuku barabarani. Kwa hivyo hakuna kitu ambalo haliwezi kuwezekana. Everything is possible. Ama ni aje, my friends? Tunaelewana? Tunaelewana? Na ndio mimi nataka niwaambie na tuwe waangalifu, kwa sababu hatufanyi mchezo, hatufanyi mzaha. Hii Kenya haiwezi kubadilishwa kwa maneno ya bure, inabadilishwa kwa mipango ya sawasawa. Tunaelewana jamani? Kuna siku itakuja ya siasa. Leo sijakuja siasa. Kuna wengine wanajaza maneno kwa magazeti. Oh, Ruto ameenda pwani. Oh, Ruto ameenda sijui kutafuta nini. Mimi nataka niwaambie wanikome.
And still in the coast region, 7 people have been admitted at the Coast General Hospital in Mombasa after a suspected gang attack in Kongowea and Voi in Nyali constituency. Some of the victims claim a gang of 20 people are responsible for the attack that has left one victim in critical condition. Our reporter Kevin Mutai is at the Coast General Hospital, from where he brings us the latest. A very good afternoon to you, Kevin. What is the situation on the ground following that deadly attack?
Well, these are news that we are gathering at this time, Olive, and we are informed that one of the persons who attacked last night is actually in critical condition and he's currently being operated on in theatre. And this is an incident that occurred last night in the areas of VOK and that is in Nyali constituency, and where some of the victims that we've talked to are telling us that this is a new gang operating within the areas of Nyali and Kisauni, and it has a number of 20 people, and these members of the criminal gang wreaked havoc last night. And according to some of the victims, they're telling us that some of them were going up and about their normal duties. Some were even from a wedding ceremony, and they were attacked ruthlessly, and some of them sustained deep panga wounds and are currently being admitted here at Coast General Hospital. We only know the number of 7 people, but we also understand that some are currently being treated at several hospitals and health facilities in the region. But let me quickly just try and speak and try and understand exactly what happened and talk to one of the victims. Kwanza kabisa jitambulishe kwa majina na pole kwanza kwa mliyapata, tueleze ni nini kilitokea, ulikuwa wapi na ulikuwa unafanya nini?
Mimi ni driver tuktuk. Leo saa 12:30 nilikuwa nimetoka Mlaleo naelekea Kongowea. Leo katokea watu kama 10 ama 20 hivi wameshika mapanga vijana. Wakawa wanakatakata mama. Sasa ile kujaribu kupita wakanisimamisha na mimi. Sasa mimi nikawa nikwambia sikuweza kusimama na nikalenga kagonga wawili mimi. Walipoanguka wawili, mmoja akadanda, akapanda ile tuku. Nikamwambia basi mimi sisimama, akaniambia akilazeni simama, mimi sikusimama. Nikawa nimelenga shimo sasa. Nikamwambia basi kama hutashuka mimi naingia kwa shimo hicho tuku. Nilipomwambia niingia kwa shimo, sasa akaruka. Aliporuka sasa akatosha panga ikakata sehemu moja peke yake. Mimi sikusimama hivyo nikafuata kwenda. Hiyo ndio ikawa ni nimeachana nao sasa.
Uliweza kutambua baadhi ya silaha ambazo walikuwa wanatembea nazo?
Walikuwa wana mapanga yenye hayana maso side moja, lakini wale walikuwa na zile slasher ndio zilikuwa zina maso kote zinakata hizo slasher. Lakini wale mapanga ndio amegongana nalo moja, lakini haikuwa na makali. Maana yake hata sikumia sana.
Na ukiangalia hawa vijana, ukiangalia katika umri ambao walikuwa ni watu wakubwa sana, ama ukiangalia umri unasema ni wa kiwango wa umri gani?
Ni vijana kama mimi tu, vijana wadogo sana. Hata wengine hata ni wadogo wangu, wengi sana wale wadogo wangu. Mmoja ndio alikuwa mkubwa kidogo, lakini sasa wote ni wadogo wengine wote.
Na je, nia yao ya mashambulizi ilikuwa ni ipi? Uliweza kutambua?
Mimi walipopanda walikuwa wanasema nipatie pesa na simu. nilikuwa na simu nyingine kabambe, ndio akachukua simu akaniambia nisimame, ndio sasa aingie kwa mfuko aone kama kuna pesa ngapi. Mimi siwezi kusimama, lakini ilikuwa ni yao, ilikuwa nipate pesa na hiyo pesa na simu.
Pole sana, pole sana. Let me also try and speak to another victim. Hebu tueleze kwanza, wewe mwenyewe uliumizwa ama uko na mtu ambaye aliumizwa hapo hospitalini?
Mimi niko na mtu ambaye aliumizwa.
Hebu tueleze fahamu yako kuhusu yaliyotokea ni ipi sana?
Mimi fahamu yangu yaliyotokea ni mwendo wa saa 9. Yule ndugu yangu alikuwa anatoka harusini. Alipofika, harusi yenyewe ilikuwa maeneo ya Maweni kwa Idikumbi. So alipotoka harusini kufika maeneo ya Kangi, ni mahali kama kwa mita 200 hivi. Akutana na vijana 20 wakamwamuru kae chini, lakini hakutaka kukaa chini, alingangana na wao. Alipoona ana resist, ndio akamrushia mkono, ulikuwa mkate kichwa, lakini akakinga na mkono huu, mkono wake hapa wa kushoto ukakatika mifupa yote ino. So mimi nikapigiwa simu mwendo wa saa 9 saa hiyo kwamba ameumia, tukatoka usiku tukamchukua tukamleta Makadara hapa. So nilipofika hapa hospitalini ndio nikakuta sasa wahasiriwa wengine 7. Wa kwanza nikamuuliza amepigwa na wakora maeneo ya Generation wakiwa vijana 20. Kwanza yeye ameumia vibaya sana. Na wa pili akaniambia amepigwa Kongoya Primary School, alikuwa anaelekea sokoni. Watatu akana yeye ndugu yangu maeneo ya Kangi. Baada ya hapo Leisure kwenda huko basketball, wakapiga tena mhasiriwa mwingine. Walipotoka hapo tena wakaenda paka Mshomoroni, mwisho wa lami. Kuna mhasiriwa hapa nimemuuliza alipigwa maeneo gani, akaniambia alipigwa Mshomoroni mwisho wa lami, pia walimkata pia kichwa.
Na je, kumekuwa na genge ama magenge tofauti hapa Mombasa tumekuwa tukiyazungumzia. Je, hili ni genge lingine ama ni bado ni lile genge ambalo limekuwa likiwahangaisha wakazi?
Kwa kweli kulingana na udadisi tukiangalia, hili gengi lile linaohangaisha watu siku zote, inaonekana gengi bado liko ni lile. Si gengi jipya, kwa sababu kulingana na huyu ndugu yangu anasema wale vijana wote aliwaona wakimshambulia, wengi wa mtaani anawajua na wale hakuweza kuwafahamu. Kwa hivyo inaonekana bado ni gengi lile, kwa sababu kama lilianza kushambulia Mshomoroni, likakuja Kongoea, likakuja Leisure, likakuja Kambi Kikuyu, likakuja Maweni. Hilo ni gengi lile ambalo limejiamini na ni kama lile lilifanya kule Bamburi wakati kama mwezi miwili ya nyuma.
Na je, tukimalizia, hali ya mpendo wako iko vipi sasa hivi?
Kwa kweli hali ya mpendo wangu, tumefika hapa saa 9 za usiku, lakini kufikia sasa alikuwa ameambiwa atakana kafanywe surgery mkono, apelekwe theater. Mpaka sasa bado kuna delay kubwa, hatujui atapelekwa theater saa ngapi na mmoja anaendelea pale kuumia. Yaani tuko hapa hatuelewi kitu gani kinaendelea kufikia sasa. Tunaambiwa tusubiri, so hatujui kama atapelekwa theater saa ngapi. Ni hali ya kuhuzunisha sana, mgonjwa analia pale, mkono umekatika, umevunjika, na mpaka sasa hakuna hatua yote imechukuliwa.
Poleni sana, nawatakeni subira. Well, those are some of the sentiments from the victims and friends and relatives of some of the people who are currently nursing serious injuries here at the Coast General Hospital. Like I said, this is a criminal gang that has been terrorizing residents of Kongowea, VOK, or that is in Nyali constituency. And I understand also that they also had some operations in Mishomoroni, that is also on the other side of Kisauni. Remember, these criminal gangs have been terrorizing residents in this region despite efforts by security officers telling us that they are conducting patrols in those affected areas. And in this particular case, for instance, we will be speaking to security officials and try to get the understanding of this matter and how they are willing to quell the tension in that particular area, and of course with the efforts that they've put in place to ensure that they arrest the perpetrators. This is a matter that we'll be looking into. We'll be digging more information and we'll be speaking to other victims also, and we'll be updating our viewers on the happenings here in the region.
All right, thank you so much, Kevin Mutai from Mombasa. Of course, we'll certainly be keeping a close eye on the development following that report. Now, Jacqueline Chepngeno, a Class 6 pupil who committed suicide last week after she was shamed by her teacher for soiling her uniform because of menstruation, has been laid to rest. Mourners demanded justice for the girl who was a pupil at Kabiangek Primary School in Bomet County.
Hallelujah. At Ketisiet village in Bureti constituency, mourners have gathered to give Jacqueline Chepngeno a befitting send-off. Chepngeno's life was cut short last week after she took her own life. Her mother says the daughter narrated her embarrassing ordeal of how one of her female teachers shamed her for soiling her uniform due to menses. She left the school around 10 a.m. crying.
niliambiwa huyo mtoto alikuja na sandals moja. So mtoto mmoja ule alikuwa normal, anaweza enda na sandal moja mpaka nyumbani. Mimi nilisema kitu ule mwalimu angeweza kufanya, angechukua tu kama yeye ni mtoto na amsaidie.
Lakini sasa kuna watu hapa wachache wanakuja kuthreaten media ati kuambia watu waandike statement. Wanaandika nini statement? Wakiandika statement mtoto wetu ataamka.
The body of the 14-year-old pupil who attended Kabiangek Primary School in Bomet County was found dangling from a tree at a tea farm after the mother sent her to fetch water to clean herself. Mourners demanded justice for the young girl.
Those funds which were meant for these children should come down to the grassroots.
We lost a soul. We are grieving today who would have made a difference and impact in our lives in times ahead. We want to say enough is enough.
The news of Chepngeno's death stoked the community's anger. The residents stormed the school demanding the arrest of the teacher in question. Women members of parliament stormed Jogoo House, which houses the Ministry of Education offices, seeking answers. They demanded to know what happened to the funds met to purchase sanitary towels for schoolgirls and the action the ministry intends to take on the accused teacher. The Education Cabinet Secretary, Professor George Magoha, promised to give a report Monday. Sharon Baranga, NTV.
Indeed, a very unfortunate incident there. Now, a section of leaders from Keyo Valley are asking the government to handle the Mau forest evictions humanely. The Keyo South Member of Parliament says the government has been carrying out the evictions without minding about the welfare of the former occupants of the land in the forest. The government has maintained that the evictions will go on until the forest land has been reclaimed fully. The exercise has been ongoing since the government issued a 60-day ultimatum to over 10,000 people residing in the Mau forest to vacate the area or be evicted early in the month.
Our people in Mau have been evicted in a very inhuman manner. We have a multitude of our people who bought land in Mau, and they are being treated like animals. We condemn the officials of government who are doing these bad manners. We want a situation where these people are given alternative land. If we feel that this land belongs to the forest, then let the people be resettled elsewhere.
Makueni Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr. has renewed interest in the Jubilee promise to construct 5 new stadia and refurbish 6. Speaking in Wote during the finals of the Mutula Kilonzo Jr. Cup, the legislator lamented the poor state of the facility, which is overrun by garbage. The Wote Stadium is among the 6 existing facilities due to benefit from an upgrade. Mutula also called on county governments to develop grounds for the purposes of identifying and honing sporting talent. He's also advanced the idea of a national sub-team comprised of the best talent from across the 47 counties.
Tunataka tuwakumbushe serikali ya Jubilee kwamba walituahidi sisi watu wa Makueni kwamba watatujengea stadium. Mpaka wa leo hatujaona stadium. Na hapa tumeona kuna watu ambao wanaweza kujinufaisha wakiweza kucheza mchezo huu wa mpira.
All right, and away from that, hundreds of squatters in Athi River who have been living on the East Africa Portland land held peaceful demonstrations on Saturday against the company's proposal to evict them. The move by the squatters residing in parts of the 12,000-acre piece of land within Mavoko in Machakos County came after the cement maker announced intentions to sell some parcels to raise working capital. Carrying placards, the dejected squatters walked for more than 20 kilometers to the Athi River County Commissioner's office to present a memorandum of their plight. According to the squatters and several associations, their journey to legally owning the land dates back to 2010, when the East Africa Portland Cement Company announced it would sell the land to the community, but recalled the decision 2 years later.
Tunaleta hii procession kwa ajili ya haki zetu. Kuna threat ambayo tumeface ya demolition, na kwa maana tumekaa pale kuanzia mwaka wa 2010, ndio kwa maana tuko hapa.
Wa sasa hatujui ile kitu iko leo, tunafukuzwa kwa samba na sisi hatuna mahali pa kwenda.
Now from that, over 2,500 families in Ngoliba location in Thika East Sub-County are set to benefit from clean water for both domestic and farming use following the commissioning of Phase 2 of the Ndula Magongi Ngoliba water project. The revival of the Ndumango irrigation scheme after years of plunder and misappropriation of funds is changing the livelihoods of this rural community in Thika East Sub-County. The chairman of the project said that the pipes will be used to connect the residents with water from Magungi, which is 10 kilometers away. Ngoliba ward in Thika Town constituency has a history of drought-related starvation when the residents depend entirely on food donations. The completion of Phase 1 last year saw Ndula and Magongoni locations benefit from the project.
Ile mfereji tulikuwa tumeleta ya kwanza. Ilikuwa mfereji mzuri sana, ni asaleta maji hapa. Watu wakaanza kuduga, wanaweka 1 inch, wanaweka 2 inches, wanaweka nini, maji haikufika Ngoliba. Na ingekuwa hapa, hii maji mngekuwa mnaikunywa. Lakini maji haikufika wapi? Haikufika hapa.
Mradi wote ni kilomita 32, 2/3 of it is complete, imebaki sehemu ya Ngoliba peke yake. Mheshimiwa amekubali kutupatia mifereji 1720 ambayo itakuwa ina cover kilomita 10.8.
All right, now the Turkana County government has dispatched over 60,000 mosquito nets in the county to curb the spread of malaria following a recent outbreak. Flagging off the vehicles to the 7 sub-counties of Turkana, the County Executive Committee for Health, Jane Ajele, pointed out Loima and Turkana West as the most affected regions. Ajele added that following the outbreak, the county government sent out surveillance teams to collect data while referring serious cases of malaria to the sub-county dispensaries. She admitted that they have not had enough drugs to treat malaria as expected, shifting the blame to the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority. Ajele promised that the county government was on course to supply more mosquito nets in the county.
Like in place like Turkana South, where we had high cases, we are going to give them 2,000 nets. And Turkana West, the same, because they had high cases, they are going to receive 2,000 nets. The rest of the sub-counties are going to receive 1,000, and these nets are going to support a population of 20,000 people.
And an environmental foundation, Wild Now, geared in sensitizing and growing awareness among the youth, has been launched in Nairobi. Wild Now targets the youth who play a critical role in the conservation of the elephant and other endangered animals. Under the foundation, young and high school going students are targeted to take up a more active role in environmental care and protection. The youth can participate in awareness creation activities such as wildlife painting and exhibitions among themselves. They can also attend stimulating conferences and events, adopt wild animals in parks to heighten the knowledge of the wildlife heritage.
We should all be involved because currently, other than the fact that we know that our the Amazon is burning down. The other day I was talking to Wildlife Direct and they mentioned that we have to plant 8 trees, each one of us in this room have to plant 8 trees each day for us to survive. And I think that's enough reason for you to know that we should all be involved in conservation.
All right, and in other stories making headlines across borders and beyond our borders, Tunisian voters headed to the polls on Sunday to choose from a crowded field of candidates where there is no overwhelming front-runner, with the young democracy's economic ills dominating the agenda. The presidential race features 24 candidates, including 2 women, vying to replace the country's late leader Beji Said Essebsi, who died in July. While foreign attention, especially in Arab countries, is focused on the moderate Islamist Ennahda party, many Tunisians are watching the fate of media mogul Nabil Karoui, running from behind bars on suspicion of money laundering and tax evasion, which he denied. Prime Minister Youssef Chahed, as well as the two former prime ministers, a former president and the defense minister, are also among the 24 candidates. Candidates must secure 50% of the vote to win on Sunday, but if no single party obtains a majority, the two candidates with the most votes will advance to a second decisive round. Tunisia's president has directed control over foreign and defense policy, while most other portfolios are handled by a prime minister chosen by parliament. Elections for the parliament will be held on October 6th. Well, a large pro-democracy rally made its way through Hong Kong's streets today in defiance of a ban by police who warned the gathering was illegal. A smaller group rallied outside Britain's consulate in the city earlier to demand London protection of its former colonial subjects. The mixed crowd of hardcore protesters in black and wearing masks, along with families and children, spilled into the roads of the Causeway Bay shopping belt. Some waved the United States and British flags, while others carried posters reiterating their calls for democratic reforms. The march disrupted traffic in many shops, with banners declaring "One country, two systems is dead." The repeated calls for Hong Kong's former colonial ruler to ensure the city's autonomy is upheld and agreements made when it ceded power to China in 1997. All right, and away from that, let's now take a look at stories making headlines in the world of sports. And Ida Waringa is here just for that, Ida.
Thanks a lot for that, Zainab. Very good afternoon to you. Hoping your Sunday is going very well. And the national women's volleyball team, the Malaria Strikers, lost their second game at the Volleyball World Cup in Hamamatsu, Japan, going down 3-0 to the Netherlands. Paul Bitok's Chargers, who are fresh from defending their African Games title in Rabat, Morocco, went down 25-12, 25-19 and 25-17. The Malaria Strikers had also suffered an opening loss defeat to the United States on Saturday. Africa's other representatives, Cameroon, also lost in straight sets to China. Kenya will next face defending champions Serbia on Monday at
Wake up to
African time. Malaria Strikers lost.
But the best in news, conversation starters, and hard-hitting interviews that keep you informed for the day ahead.
Up and early, 6 on the nose. These people don't sleep. Fix fast the data protection law. Then we come up with the number.
Exactly my question to CS Joe Mushero.
Welcome to Living with Us. I'm your host, Sharon Mundia. Boy, have you missed out.
Stop your wheel. Game done.
Thank you for joining us on NTV today.
We have our reporters in different locations.
NTV is right here to bring you everything from the beginning to the end.
Hii ni NTV Sasa.
Kuna mambo mengi sana ambayo yanafanyika.
Sasa ni kumtuliza. Hii inaitwa sensory integration.
Sure that they can bounce back. To some football now, and USM Algiers host Kenyan champions Gor Mahia in the Algerian capital of Bilda at 10:45 tonight in the CAF Champions League first round. A trouble trip saw Kogalo land in Algeria barely 24 hours before the clash, while USM have also been facing a financial crunch after club accounts were frozen over alleged corruption. Gor will be looking to avenge last year's loss to the Algerians after the two were paired in Group D of the CAF Confederation Cup. Both sides will be looking for a positive result to stand a better chance of qualifying for the group stage of top-tier continental football, while the first leg match will be played at the Stade Mustafa Chaka tonight. And Arsenal travelled to Vicarage Road to face Watford at 6:30 p.m, looking to get back to winning ways and heap more misery on the Hornets in the Premier League. Defeat to Liverpool and a draw against Tottenham means the Gunners are on a 2-game winless run, but face bottom side Watford, who replaced manager Javi Garcia with Kike Sanchez Flores after 3 defeats from 4. The Hornets will be missing captain Troy Deeney, while the Gunners, will be without Hector Bellerin Bellerin and Kieran Tierney, the duo being close to a first-team return following injury. In the day's other games, Bournemouth host Everton at 4 p.m. and Aston Villa and West Ham face off at 10 p.m. To some basketball now, where the United States defeated Poland 87-74 at the FIBA World Cup to finish in 7th place overall, which is the worst ever performance for the 5-time world champions that's being held in China currently. Well, meanwhile, Serbia beat Czech Republic 90-81 to finish in 5th place on Saturday. France and Australia are currently in action to determine the bronze medalist. 3 p.m. See the big one. Argentina and Spain go at it in the final. Argentina saw France
na kurudisha hapa studioni.
Kuna mengi ambayo yanaendelea kujiri katika maeneo tofauti.
Tunavyoelewa nasema nini? Vimeundwa.
NTV in the morning. All you need to know to start your day.
Nilizae kama ajalema.
Serikali ileta dawa gani?
It's almost a year, nothing has been done.
I just need some.
Copenhagen Half Marathon, where Kenyan star Jeffrey Kamworor is set to participate as the hot favorite. I'm Ida Warenga. I will see you at 9 p.m. for all this and more. Back to you, Zain.
All right. Thank you so much, Ida. Of course, we'll be looking forward to those stories. But away from that, out of the need to fill a gap in the market, Shiru Waithaka Waberu set up Fun Kids to produce children-friendly furniture. 10 years in came the logging ban, and Shiru had to re-strategize to stay afloat in business or playing her part in conserving the environment. She shared with Gladys Gashanja how through waste she is playing a part in dignifying the lives of children for this week's Women in Power.
So this is what it then. My name is Shiro Waweru Waithaka. I'm the CEO and founder of Fun Kids Limited. We're an innovative children and youth brand, first of its kind from Africa. So we design and manufacture innovative products for them from home to schools. We teach children what manufacturing is all about. We teach them to use their hands. Right now as a country, we're pushing industrialization, Big Four agenda, which is fantastic. I completely believe in it, but it's impossible to do it if you've not been taught how. So we've decided to complement our education system and as private sector and industry to offer a program. It's actually called Kids Go Tech. And so far we've probably trained over 1,000 children in how to make their own products, everyday objects. And we've also had about 600 plus youth. So we teach children about how to be environmentally conscious. So if you look at this new furniture line of ours we're sat on, it's made out of waste from industries, waste from companies like yours. What we do is we upcycle the waste and take it back to schools. We've been a bit radical. We now have plants that sit on the desks in the class. These are succulents. But how do you make children aware about the environment? How do you teach them to love and protect? It's not with a policy or a government directive. It has to be tangible. It has to be experiential. It has to be fun. My original business idea was to make amazing products out of timber, which we've been doing for a while now. And then when we encountered the ban on logging, which is good for the environment, very bad for business, we had to recalibrate, rethink, and literally change our sales. And at the moment, we're now using recycled, which is waste. There's no reason why we have schools where children sit on stones or even just sit on the ground. The education system is one, but the environment they learn in is equally as important. So we're calling it the Dignity Project. And we're saying, let's restore dignity in schools. Again, I stress, not only for children, but for the teachers. So right now, there's something we've been learning about called Education for Sustainable Development, which is being spearheaded by the Ministry of Education. And we've become partners in that, where we also go and train. And what does that look like? Schools also generate a lot of waste around them. And we then equip the teachers and say, look, with the stuff around you, this is what you can do with it. And this is what you can also do with it in a learning environment, like in a classroom. The other thing we do is we get well-wishers like yourself to say, you know what, I want to sponsor a class because Because we're saying sponsor a desk, sponsor a class. Sponsoring a desk is like the one I'm sat on. It's only 3,000 shillings. This desk can take 1 child, 2 children, 3 children, up to 4 children in some communities. My biggest advice is start a business that's solving a problem. Don't just start a business because you like something, right? Because that's where we are as a country. What if we said every county would make its own buttons for the uniform the kids in that county have to wear? Those are many buttons. What does that lead to? A lot of creation of jobs, improvement of economy. We don't have to make drones. It's nice, but where we are as a country, we don't even make toilets. We still have pit latrines in schools. We don't make taps enough. Why aren't we making the basics?
Definitely, that's quite an inspiration. Thank you so much, Gladys Kishandra, for sharing with us that report there on women in power. Well, that brings us to the end of our bulletin this hour, but we still have so much more we're lining up for you in our subsequent bulletins. You want to stay tuned. My name is Zainab Ismail. Good afternoon.
This is NTV.
This week on Life Clinic.
A time like this, before I got this condition, I would have already showered and left the house to attend to my daily activities. But now I cannot.
These are the untold stories of how hydrocell shatters the lives of men.
It was baby steps, getting out of the house, being able to walk till here where it happened, or till there. I would feel my heart beating so fast. It felt like I was reliving everything.
A young woman in Uganda rebuilds her life after surviving an acid attack.
Welcome to Turkana University College. Turkana University is a center of research, innovation, and technological development. Apply now for our January, May, and September intakes. Turkana University, the cradle of knowledge.
You find retinoblastoma is commoner before the age of 5 because these tissues are still developing.
Discrimination has been there because all my primary life and high school life, I never had any desk mate because they thought it was a disease that can, go around affecting people.
Please look into that eye. You just need to shine a torch and you can be able to tell something is not right.
The Federation of Kenya Employers, FKE, invites you to the 3rd Employer of the Year Awards, Air and Gala Dinner at the Radisson Blu, Upper Hill, Nairobi on Friday, 20th September 2019 from 6 p.m.
Tumekuwa tukizunguka mtaani tukireward loyal customers wa Selector na 1 year supply. Tumekuwa Keno, Mweke, Remuru, Roiro, Gekoyo, Gong, Ed Umoja. Karada, tukikupata ukibai Selector pale kwa shop ya mtaani yenyu, you might be the luckiest winner ya 1 year supply.
Mkate ni Selector. Tosha. Now you can get your Uber ride with a phone call. Call 0800 722 000 to ride.
Introducing the new salad oil with a spout for easy use. Comes packed with omega-6 and 9 and vitamin A and D and at a price that doesn't dent your wallet.
Leo utakula nyumbani.
Salad, siri ndio hiyo.
This is NTV.
It is that time for the T on TTTT. Welcome to NTV. My name is Antonio Sol. I'm gonna be your flight pilot for the night, and we have amazing content for you guys today on TTTT. But to start us off, let's start with the highlights. Nyandarua Governor Francis Kememia launches unfinished dirt road. Lord have mercy on us. Stick around for more on this. Charity sweepstake is back. Busia couple decides to swap wives to settle scores.
I don't know if you can
And talking about cyberbullying survivor, Victor Kinuthia gets a new job description after the social media troll. Yesterday, today. KQ comes out guns blazing in defense of their use of aluminium foil tape, for those of you guys thought it was sellotape, on their planes. What has the plane got to say about this? Welcome to TTTT once again. My name is Antonio Sol. Make sure you use the hashtag TTTT. And I have this amazing amazing panel of eminent personalities. Yes. And I'll start with ladies first. We have the one and only Nation FM presenter, Lead 360 presenter, the beautiful, gorgeous, smart Mariam Bishar.
Thank you.
Na amekuja leo kubisha hapa hapa NTV. And then we also have Daddy Mato, presenter, actor, scriptwriter, celebrity.
Thank you, my manager. Thank you, my manager.
Techie.
Thank you, my manager. I usually give this guy another job.
Like
of that lady. Would you notice same kadumbele?
Yeah.
And we
and you know, we do not live together. We have just met today.
No one thought we lived together.
Like
absolutely no.
Like no.
No one even thought it.
No, imagine Mato. No, they are just people who go there. I'm going to introduce you a concert.
And obviously we have Quach. Did you bring some Quacha?
Anton, no. Antonio.
Imagine the guy who set the bar.
Then you set the bar.
The bar is low, Anton.
Gosh. Like what?
Quach is a content creator, creative director. He's an actor. He's a comedian. And he's the funniest guy on this panel.
Wow. Because tumekwambia baya koni lona
yeah,
funny.
Anyway, obviously tunaanza na story ya Francis Kememia launching a dirt road.
What? Umeshtuka?
We've launched once.
Oh, you
umeshtuka? Exactly. Yeah. Umeshtuka.
Sawa,
kuna chozi na launch
korada.
You don't remember the guy who launched Mitibili is a transformer?
Oh,
there was one who launched a transformer, there's another one who launched a bridge, just mtika moja.
There's one who launched a toilet, like one single toilet, not a row of toilets, not a toilet and a bathroom, just one toilet.
But you know, we think they're being stupid, but they're very clever.
And
do you know?
Yeah. So before we do so, let's watch the video.
All right.
Okay. So we can see what happened. And I hear Daddy Mato was the MC at this event.
we might think he's being stupid and being very rational. But utapata budget ya the road ilikuwa tuseme 5 million. Just a few million. Budget ya launching of the road ilikuwa 10 million. Kwa hivyo, money is spent on the launch ndio watu wapate pesa kwa mfuko. We think they're being stupid, but they're very clever. Or they know if you launch a kawaida road, you'll not be on the news. Akina Anto will not be speaking about you.
No, look at us. You know the most painful thing about that road, Dirt roads can be decent, by the way. You know, there can be a dirt road that's proper. It's just tarmac missing.
Roads can be decent.
No, they can. But look at what he's launched. It's malware. It's like
zile zimetolewa kwa mijengo.
Exactly.
Ndio wametumia kukarusha kwa barabara.
It's like Ngong Road right now. Hakuna difference ya Ngong Road na hiyo barabara.
Sorry, mimi sijui.
It's all a dirt road.
Sijui Ngong Road, mimi niko Thika Super Highway. I'm sorry.
Wow.
But you know there is something now that Until now that you brought Ngong Road up.
Yes.
What is happening?
You can't bring Ngong Road up. It's go down. Go down. You can't bring it up.
Can you please leave us to our own problems?
This road has been under construction for the last 15 years.
Imagine.
Like, I think when Moi was leaving, the road was under construction.
Premier launched was basically an extension of Ngong Road. And speaking of extension of roads and families, you guys know that Weta has found a new husband. And I'm not talking about who you think. I am talking about a Miss Weta.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, you guys.
Look what you panic. There was so much panic in the room.
This week,
I was not going to be surprised because Weta found a husband. I was going to be shocked because it is Weta.
Oh my God.
No, maybe want to be new, meaning there was another husband.
Guys, basically in a nutshell, for everyone at home, it is all about this husband is tired of the wife. And you will basically see what happened. Let's watch and see what happened. Yeah.
And so she reached out to Christopher and they reached an understanding.
Asubuhi nikakuja huku nikaambia huyu jamaa huko kimeumana. Akaniambia kama kimeumana fanya nini? Enda uchukue watoto fanya nini ukuje nao.
Akaniambia bibi yako ameniharibia nyumba. Bibi yako amefanya sijui nini yangu imepotea. Wameuza nguruwe yangu wameuza. Nikamwambia mama, hebu please nyamaza. Hebu kuja uende uniambie pole. Nikamchukua tukaje kwa nyumba hapo tukakaa. Mimi nikachukua kalamu na karatasi. Huyu akarauka hapa asubuhi.
You know what is so interesting is this guy later talks about how that this lady has brought so much peace in his life. And people must get the context that this lady we see right here, Weta, she is the former wife of his old wife's husband, new husband.
Like, and so,
it's like the guru, brothers, someone, whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you guys remember
Weta? Blue hapa.
Yes.
Bibi yake sasa ni Weta.
Okay.
Unaona Weta bwana yake.
Yeah.
Ni bwana ya
bibi
ya huyu.
It's so confusing. Do you guys remember Wife Swap? There used to be this show.
What it is.
I used to be called Wife Swap. So it's like your mom goes to another person's household and she runs it for a week, and then their mom comes to yours and she tells you what to do. So these guys took that and then added like a sprinkle of coitus. And they were like,
but who are the people who Western? They take it to the power of 900.
Yes, Lillian's ex-husband.
Yeah.
So this is the ex. Basically, huyu aliamka siku moja akaona bibi ya ume amevaa blue. Akama, by the way, this is gonna be I love this lady. She brings joy. It happened evil. How did it happen, Daddy Mato?
You see, the only reason why this worked, I would say, is because this other woman is the one who went to this other man and said, bibi yako anafanya vitu huko na bwana yangu. So mimi naona tukaliane tu hapa. I mean, tukae hapa.
Mariam, do you believe that story? We blame the woman.
Yeah?
No,
it only worked. It only worked because the woman is the one who suggested it. Had it been the man who suggested it, angechomwa.
It's actually true. Like I don't know, Weta was cheating. Who was cheating? Weta,
no, guys.
The other lady was cheating.
Weta's husband. So Mariam, let's use Mariam.
Yeah.
So Mariam on the streets, and he says, "Kwanda in nice Luya Swahili. Mimi nikaona msichana, nikamkatia, akaingia box, ningefanya nini?" So before we go to this guy from Inoro TV, you had a point about how this whole Miss Weta ended up with another husband, and her husband ended up with her now husband's wife, and they're all living very happily ever after.
So I remembered actually, Weta's original husband, the one in blue, met the other wife, like when he was
in the streets.
Yes, in the streets, just marking around in the streets. And then he was like, "Let me bring her home as wife number 2." Weta saw that and she was like, "No, I'm so, excuse me, sir." And she figured this woman has left a man somewhere. Yeah, there's room. Like when someone gets promoted, that means your position may open up. So she shot her shot and it worked out. So everyone is now living happily ever after.
This is a nice tale of even universities, and I think psychologists should use it, or psychiatrists, for marriage counseling. Sometimes like the answer is just knock on your neighbor's door.
Probably when she went to sana alikuwa anaenda kumsema. When she went to sema your wife is, she was like, "Your wife is
oh my God."
So your wife is there. Now me I'm here.
Yeah.
See, we do this.
And while you're also butchering English, this past week, Daddy Mato, you're butchering English there. An Inoro TV presenter.
An
Inoro TV presenter called Mr. Victor Kinuthia. He was cyber-bullied on social media because of basically, to be honest, butchering English. And this is the clip. Shall you hear him speak well in Muranga?
Victor, I don't know if you can hear me, but we wanted to know under which circumstances was the MP arrested? Was he at his home? And how many police were involved in this operation?
Thank you. I can get you, and like you have just asked, as we are talking now, we are just outside CID officers in Muranga County, that is based in Muranga town, where Kiharu MP Dede Nyoro have been arrested a few minutes from now by GSU officers from Nairobi. Remember that Dede Nyoro have the police...
And the biggest issue began right there when he said Dede Nyoro has been arrested any few minutes from now. Hey.
Officers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it later escalated to the whole ambulance thing and everything. And yeah, you guys are what I would call maybe nano, macro, micro, I don't know what it is in terms of being journalists. So you don't present the news, but you know very well that when you're on TV, for example, now, there's a way that you just have to present this kind of information.
Yes.
Quatch.
Yeah, especially
what's going on.
Especially live links.
Yeah.
You know, they are challenging. One, I understand they are challenging, and especially because this guy was ambushed to do a link in a language he's not used to.
Yeah.
I finally came to understand he's an Inoro TV presenter, which is a vernacular station. But before that, all of us did not know that he was not a Citizen TV journalist.
Yes.
And of course, when people were reacting, they were just doing this, expecting that as a national TV broadcaster, we expect standards from you.
Exactly.
We expect you to do something.
And then that ambulance story.
Where he was shocked by the ambulance. But it was cool though how experienced journalists came out. Akina Nani, Joageo, Nani, all the experienced ones, they were coming out with their stories of how they started out and how it was tough.
And some even publishing videos of their first story on air and how much flack they got.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was his first English broadcast. And it got him it got him trending online. It got him a BBC interview. I think he has done a better job than any of those others.
In terms of getting clout from it.
I know. Like he's journalist of the award year. I want to be trolled.
You see?
I want to be trolled.
You're pretending. See what you're doing there. Maria.
Honestly, I agree with what these guys have said. He was thrown into the deep end. He did what he could, and then guys just ran with it. And the weird thing, it's a troll. It's okay to. I feel like it's okay to laugh at like it's a grammar mistake here and there. You can laugh like in a banter way. But when guys came for him, trolling him, saying standards are low, this and this, some people were even trying to say at him maybe he was, a bit drunk or something. I'm like, no, that's just coming from an ugly place.
Exactly.
That's coming from if someone asked you to do the same thing, you would sweat through every pore in your body, and you're here judging him.
Someone posted that.
The way I was saying, where I was raising when we were talking about this during the break, and I said I also come from a point where I understand the people who trolled him before they knew what the real story was behind it.
Yeah.
It's when you're in public life and you have been in public life, there are things that you've already put yourself out there for.
Yeah.
Like people already think you're their punching bag.
It's
when
true.
they're frustrated with the news. They think they can throw the frustrations at you. When they think what you're doing is not as per standards, and especially because most people who are saying this story were coming from a point of, we have very many journalists who do English stories, who are qualified, but they do not have jobs at that level, while we have this guy. Okay, finally we later came to understand that he's their correspondent there.
And he happened to be there. It was breaking news. And and one of the things that you learn about someone like Victor, and it's what people don't understand, is that you could be taught anything you could be taught in journalism school, but you don't teach assertiveness.
Yes.
So ile tunasema kwa Kiswahili kujituma.
Yes.
You're in Muranga, you're the guy on the ground. He could easily have lied and said, oh, since I'm around, but I went to my shushu's place and it's so far from the CID offices, I might not make it.
I had
but
some Indian curry
he decided to face it.
Akajamba, you know what? I'm gonna go and do this.
Yes.
And the English part, fine, there's the idea of these two. this swapping people.
I think
there's the idea of there's the idea of I might not do this the right way, but also there's the idea of just doing it. And he came through and he did. And people are, someone said on social media, how many of us can go on Facebook Live and do a whole broadcast? How many of us? If you can go on Facebook or Instagram Live or Twitter Live and, for example, do a whole broadcast on traffic in Nairobi, please be our guest and maybe we will hire you. Never.
Let me make it Anto, on that point, I want to pick it up with you on that point because I am not a doctor.
Yes.
I cannot treat a patient. You can't judge me by if for example, a doctor, if like the thing that happened in KNH a while back where a wrong transfer was made to the wrong person, the head surgery. You guys remember it?
Brain surgery.
Brain surgery. It was a brain surgery, yes. Then we were out here blaming the people who are concerned with the thing because that is their job. They are not teachers, they are not soldiers, they are not anything else. They are doctors. That's why I don't blame people who expect some level of standard from someone who has gotten a job out of many in a mainstream media.
And that's exactly what happened in social media, talking about KQ and tough love. And they tried to use tough, something they used. People called it sellotape on Kenya Airways. And basically, it had to be explained to people by the engineers that manze isisio sellotape, any aluminium foil walitumia. And basically what happens is that before any sort of minor repair is done on a plane, they use that because it can withstand the wind and any altitude. But Kenyans being Kenyans, and by the way, this happened in June, but they actually had to put out a press release saying, guys, we do not use sellotape on Kenya Airways. I just want you guys, I want you to mmeka hivi. Nataka imagine indio yo wing ya hii KQ mumepanda saizi on hiyo sellotape.
Kwanza you went through the trouble of requesting, can I have a window seat next to the wing? And then you see that. That's why I'm like, I don't know how you'll stop mid-air, but I need stop yangu imefika na shuka.
Pesa yangu imeisha shukeni.
Yeah, shukeni.
Shukisha.
And even if they say, because you said it's aluminium foil, right? When you say aluminium foil, I don't feel any better.
That was my point.
That's what I cover food with, like to keep it warm.
That was my point.
And you know what? Aluminium foil.
Do you know what? This still wire.
Do you know the explanation they give?
It's an aluminium foil tape. Na kama Anto anajua msee wa Ungwaro, nyinyi ni nani msijue? Wewe jamii wewe ni masafara, sisi masafara. These bougie people here, you don't know these things.
Aluminium foil, it doesn't give my heart peace.
And you know what? The explanation, like the reason they gave for putting it, as they had to put it so that they can allow the plane to operate.
And imagine,
it's not like it's saving something, it's just for PR. We are doing something about the wear and tear. Apparently they say it's just to cover the wear and tear.
By the way, guys, this is an international standard. If it's done on a major sort of issue, they will be fined. But this is something so minor. Watu wangapi hapa kiatu yao ijawai nini wakashikanisha na kitu kingine? Watu wangapi hapa gari zao side mirror?
Anto, it's different when you are on the traffic na uko kwa barabara na uchukuliwe side mirror. Uko hewani like you are up there.
Mimi na Mato wa ghetto, bora tumepanda KQ. Hizo vitu zingine.
Shida ni mwenye alipiga picha alafu akasema sellotape. Lakini kama angekuwa ni mtu ana understand hii ni nini, apige aseme siku hizi planes wanatumia high grade aluminium aluminium foil tape kwa ndege zao. Kenya tuko international standards. Lakini kulikuwa na neno sellotape.
It's game over. And also play devil's advocate kidogo and tetea KQ. I've seen worse from airlines that you would expect better from. So I remember this story. I don't even know if I can name the airline, but it's an American airline. You see the way, like, I don't know, an umoina or just a mat, generally like the car thing for here can be gone. So like a whole row of 3 seats in an airplane with no, what are they called?
Armchairs, armrests and everything.
Yeah, like you could just lala there, like or whatever. So I'm like, okay, KQ, it's okay.
Mariam, Indio, ukipanda economy, business class, first class. These are the things that people are told, expect the unexpected. Anyway, speaking of business class, economy, and first class, basically you're being warned that if you don't treat your animals first-class style, even on a border, you will be punished. Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act, Chapter 360, that was revised. A person shall be charged for doing these two things like a chicken.
You know, it's interesting that this act came up when last week kuna mtu alikula umbwa.
By the way, unajua ni 2012
ili come up, And this is actually one of the places where this should be implemented. Hizi kuku umia. Unakutaka 15 zimededi kwa hizo zote. By the time inamalizia hiyo safari, hizi kuku umia.
You know what really people didn't understand is
you're passionate about it.
It's like Kikuyu mazee.
I'm like
kutoka Western Africa. Especially because cooks are the ones who do this.
If 15 of your cuckoos die, you're bad at business. If 15 of your cuckoos can die just in transport and you write that off as a bad loss, even you don't deserve to be doing the business of selling chicken.
You guys do realize that, and I do not support obviously cruelty against animals, but this is just to get these cuckoos to Bama market quickly. The death is all the same.
No, until you know what the government didn't explain is what they mean by torturing of the chicken. What they actually mean is, for example, if you're going to slaughter a chicken, please usiweke mwenzake asimame pale na unakata mwingine hapa.
Do you guys believe that chicken have those kind of feelings?
They do. Yes. They do. If plants have feelings.
Exactly. Okay, wait. Okay. Hold up. They just said plants have feelings.
Yes.
And we let that slide.
Yes. What do you mean? Plants have feelings. Like try growing a bunch of roses, Mali, and play them rock music.
Anything that has life has feelings.
Has feelings. Like Nani's t-shirt here. Wacha nyende nirudi. Let's, because we don't have a lot of time, let's move on to the pupil who was humiliated because of her menses, and she ended up committing suicide on a sad, on a sad note. And we all know the story, and we've all been to primary school, and we probably have experienced a girl in class, and she experiences her first period, and the shame and the angst and everything that from fellow kids. But the fact that a teacher, someone who has been granted that honor to take care of a kid, would bully a child to a point of committing suicide, what do you guys have to say about that?
Can I just say, where is the teacher?
Mariam,
where is this teacher right now? I hope she's without a job, first of all. That's like bare minimum, she is without a job. Because for a grown-up to bully a child to that extent, and for something that you yourself have gone through, you're aware, I would expect it from the kids in class, like you're saying, because they're mature, they probably need to be taught better. But your teacher, the one person who should be protecting you, taking care of you, lets you down at that level. I hope she's without a job. I don't know what kind of criminal proceedings can be brought against her, but there should be something, because this girl went home and killed herself because she was made to feel that bad. And then I saw someone online ask, because this story brought about, people talking about their teachers and everything. And then someone just asked, of your childhood experiences with teachers, and people opened up, and I'm like, are our schools nurturing, or is it like some weird form of boot camp? Because people are saying teachers would shame them, teachers would make them strip, teachers would do this. And I'm like, okay, do we need collective counseling as a nation if this is what we've been through?
And I think one of the things that you must acknowledge is the lack of that sort of teaching or training in the curriculum, the syllabus. And a lot of people are talking about introducing, for example, sexuality talks, sex talks in schools, adolescents, sexual reproductive health. And we only think about reproduction, and we never really think about the feelings of these kids and what they go through.
I think personally, I want to first thank people like Akina King Kaka who are trying to keep girls in school because with pads and things like that. And I think a lot of teachers don't understand the weight of the responsibility they hold in the development of kids. Because this is not something, we remember we were all in school at that stage. You remember, maybe this kid did not do this suicide thing as a result of the teacher. It was what followed. Because when you do that in front of the others, now they have content like for the rest of the kids' life in school. And I've had friends who are girls, and they would tell you that even when they started developing these things like body changes and stuff like that, first of all, they're already embarrassed that their bodies are changing. And then you come out to like kuiweka a stamp to tell them in front of others it's bad.
We are obviously we're going home, saying goodbye. But remember,
what?
What?
We have to go and see you guys at 10 p.m.
Hijack show.
To answer, Mary.
Mary has a toothache.
Oh, I see. And who knows why?
Because the tooth is too big.
No, it might be a hole in her tooth called a cavity. That's why I brush twice a day using Colgate.
Imagine this is your tooth and these are food acids that cause cavities. Colgate with calcium and fluoride helps prevent cavities
for maximum cavity protection.
And now available in a 12-gram sachet for fresh breath. Only 15 shillings.
Go get the stove.
Ni kama haiko.
What?
Kapatia mtu wa marimare akatu exchange na pegs.
My mini-me on his new bike. #goals, #child support.
Feet is flying.
Watoa tax upate nimengoa mlango. Nikasafisha kila kitu kwa keja.
Sipaida wewe na kutambua.
I need more money for Liam's upkeep. That 50,000 is not enough.
Yes. Season 4.
Welcome to Turkana University College. Turkana University is a center of research, innovation, and technological development. Apply now for our January, May, and September intakes. Turkana University, the cradle of knowledge. Dr. Francis Atwoli and Kotu would like to invite you to the 42nd General Council of the Organization of Africa Trade Union Unity to be held at Sarova Stanley Hotel in Nairobi. The theme for the 5-day conference will be Ending Violence and Harassment at the World of Work. The conference will also be live on NTV, 17th of September 2019 at 10 a.m.
We are in Senegal to find out why so many entrepreneurs are increasingly turning to co-working spaces.
Are you planning to take a loan or are you servicing one already? The problem is many citizens are becoming prisoners of this system.
And do you have any regrets? Like, would you change anything?
That's how we wanted our ideal magical wedding to look like.
Welcome to Turkana University College. Turkana University is a center of research, innovation, and technological development. Apply now for our January, May, and September intakes. Turkana University, the cradle of knowledge.
You find retinoblastoma is commoner before the age of 5 because these tissues are still developing.
Discrimination has been there because all my primary life and high school life, I never had any deskmate because they thought it was a disease that can, go around affecting people.
Please look into that eye. You just need to shine a torch and you can be able to tell something is not right.
The Federation of Kenya Employers, FKE, invites you to the 3rd Employer of the Year Awards, Air and Gala Dinner at the Radisson Blu, Upper Hill, Nairobi on Friday, 20th September 2019 from 6 p.m.
I've been on the forefront for evicting corruption.
And that's a good place to begin. A lot of this corruption happens because private sector and government are in bed together.
We've had this talk many times.
How drastic should the measures be taken? Because we can't keep on talking.
We don't see any action. The president has the ability to actually fire people.
I like to ask a direct question for direct answers. The heart of humanity, how do you still have it when you're such a hardened soldier?
This is not about you, it's not about your life. It's about the country that I serve.
This is where the real conversation happens.
Today we have 4 amazing young leaders, 2 whom of which are vying for the Kibra seat, one in 2022 and one this year. I'm going to start ladies first. Editor Ochieng is in the building. Karibu sana hapa NTV.
Asante.
We also have the one and only Jackson Makini Kamodho. I found out this because now we'll know all his names.
That's Kimodho.
Kimodho, aka CMB. Prezo is in the building.
Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you, Manze.
How's it going, man? You know, it's actually fair for me to be on the trend because I've been trending for the last 1 week, so it's only fair. But good to see you, though.
And he's still a lyricist right there, and we're going to see if he's going to use his charm to charm the people of Kibra 2022 and with the Wiper party ticket. We also have Honorable Muthiora, and the reason I'm saying so is because this guy is one of the few Kenyans or few personalities in the world who's trended in Kenya for a whole week. A whole week.
I'm humble and tall.
Yes. Karibu sana and thank you for being here.
Ni kwa neema ya Wakenya
Yes.
na Mungu pia.
Asante sana. And we also have the South Mugirango MP. This guy looks like he's just chilling, nini. He looks like he's my boys. Huyu mtu namlipanga salary. We have Mr. Osoro, honorable.
Hey, toa the word Mr. Honorable.
Unaona?
Honorable. It's
Unaona?
and.
Unaona sasa mmeanza. Honorable Onesmus Osoro is also right here. And just on a lighter note, his brother Ismail is the one who shot my video, Sensimilia. So these are people who I feel very comfortable around because they are young people. But before we go any further, what does leadership mean for you guys, especially concerning young people? And I'm going to start with Editor and move on to CMB and then Muthiora and lastly, Mr. Osoro.
First of all, I will say leadership means a lot to me. And coming from Kibra and looking at the different angle of leadership, I will say leadership is influencing other people positively. Because in Kibera, we grow up in a very negative society. But when you're a leader, you need to influence other people positively. And also, as a leader, I need to create and open spaces for other people. And to me, that is leadership.
Yeah. CMB.
Yeah, well, with leadership, really, if we talk about a constituency, you know, you look at the matters that are actually affecting that constituency. And the matters that affect the constituency, especially like Kibra, education, healthcare, you know, youth and women empowerment. If you go to Kibra, I have these projects that I'm building there. I'm upgrading like affordable housing for the people in Kibra. So what we're doing is upgrading from the mud houses into concrete houses. Now when I stand at the second floor, I can see all these wires like connecting electricity, which also could be very dangerous to the people living in Kibra.
Yeah.
So you have to be there on ground and see exactly what's affecting the people there, and as the chosen one by the people from Kibra, you're the one to take care of those.
Yeah, and we actually have some of the photos on air. And one of the things that shocked me personally is finding out that you have done a lot in Kibra.
Absolutely.
And you don't say much about it, you don't talk about it. Are there any other projects, leadership projects that you have initiated apart from Kibra?
Absolutely. You know, for me, I go everywhere. You see, I'm a Kenyan, right? And I believe as Kenyans, we're supposed to be in a position whereby we speak in dialogue and not tribal log. You see, we should have dialogue and not tribal log, because I shouldn't care where you come from, you know, what tribe you are or who you are. You know, as long as we're all Kenyans, you know, it is our duty and it's our responsibility to have that dialogue. But then I feel that in this point in time, you know, it's all about, because when people heard about my move, like you said, I've been doing so many projects in Kibra that not many people have been knowing about. I didn't want to blow the horn about that. I'm just creating change and playing my role as a Kenyan. So we don't have to have tribalism in this day and age. It's 2019, for crying out loud.
Cool, Mr. Muthiora. Definitely on the national platform, everybody saw you and came to know about you and Googled you, and we all knew who this guy is. From then till now, the same values, the same sentiments about leadership in Kenya? Do you still feel that we still need a change? Do you still feel that you're fit to prepare the way for this change?
Absolutely. We need change as a nation. And to me, leadership is the ability of one to feel the heartbeat of the society from which they seek to serve, and to be willing to go an extra mile to serve that community or society. Before 2017, I saw the gap that existed in the leadership that was offered by those who were in that space then. That gap still persists to date. Fortunately, over time, Kenyans are becoming more aware about what needs to be done, how we can approach the problems we have to provide the right solutions. So going forward, I'll be there to work with Kenyans so we can get those solutions. That's why we've come up with a party together with other young people, and that party is going to roll out soon because we believe that Kenya needs to be an all-inclusive society where everyone is given an opportunity to contribute.
Honorable Osoro, all leaders can be politicians. Are all politicians leaders? And have you encountered some of these politicians who are not leaders? I know you obviously would say them, but yeah, the experience.
Of course, all leaders are politicians. Actually, all politicians are leaders, but not all leaders are politicians, because one can be a church leader, you know, a village leader, elder, that's a leader. But for me, leadership is a creation of a level playground for every player to exploit his potential. I'm very careful with my wording on changing people's lives. You know, that thing is at times misplaced. There's no way I'll come to change your life, like your personal life. Trust me, there isn't. I'll create a level playground for you to change your life. Come up with the institutions like schools, make sure that, you know, every person can, but I can't force you to go to school. And even if I force you to go to school, I'll not force you to get good grades. I mean, I'll come up with a TVET, a Technical Vocation Training Institute, but I can't force you to do some course in electricity or something. So for me, leadership is about creating a level playground for every player to exploit his potential. But I don't really believe that I need, as a leader, to change you as an individual by force. You know, I want you to be successful. I'll create a hospital, but I'll not force you to go to the hospital to get medication. Perhaps you really believe in getting herbs and, you know, traditional medicine. So create a level playground, let every player compete. And that is why, for me, the principle has always been that if we start thinking about total capitalism, people will realize their potential and every person will fight for himself and not really entirely depending on politicians.
Editor, people have tried to edit you literally out of the Kibra race, this Kibra race. And I saw an interesting post online by Boniface Mwangi, and you're under the Ukweli party. And the biggest issue for you, and on the ground, allegedly, is that a lot of the people in power and above definitely trying to get you out of that race. When did the rain start beating your campaign to change or sort of, you know, bring change in Kibra?
I've been working in Kibra, and whatever the leaders are saying in the Twitter and everywhere else cannot bar me to vie in Kibra. I was born in Kibra and I grew up in Kibra. And I will say I understand every issues that are happening in the ground. So as a young woman, it's really difficult and so challenging, but at the same time, I'm looking at where we came from as Kibra, and I'm looking at my vision. The vision that I have for Kibra is really big, and it's the vision that if we can implement today, it's going to benefit a lot of people of Kibra.
What is his vision for Kibra?
Number one, like what he was just talking about, all the things that he said, that is the truth of Kibra. But at the same time, I'm looking at the political space whereby we were denied, we were in dark for a long time, not in a bad way, until Ken Okoth came, and Ken Okoth was an eye-opener to some of us. Because for me, I believe that politics was corruption, politics was violence. And this is one of the ways that the politician played so that us, the poor people, cannot get into politics. So after realizing politics is the way we can sort our issues, is the way that we can bring food on the table, is the way that we can build our empire, and also just empower women economically, youth and persons with disability. I'm in the politics. I'm not relenting. Niko ndani.
CMB, do you have to be in politics? For example, you are vying in 2022 with the
Yes,
Wiper
sir.
Party. A lot of people definitely had the whole country shocked. Do you have to be in politics to change the lives of, he keeps complaining about this word, to bring change in Kibra?
No.
This better, yeah?
Yeah,
To bring
that's
change in Kibra. And that said, though, you're doing already so much for people in Kibra.
Yes.
Do you, why want to run as an MP?
Thank you very much for that question, because whatever projects that I've been doing in Kibra have been coming off my own pocket. Like I said, you know, I'm building affordable houses. I contribute to children homes. All this is not CDF money. So you see, for me, I'm thinking to myself, if this is what I'm doing as a Kenyan, what if I had that CDF under my belt?
And he's literally about to fall on the floor here laughing.
Yeah.
And he spoke about CDF, and I've had this conversation with you before.
Exactly.
And I think one of the biggest disconnects that we do have is
Did I answer the question, my brother?
yes, you did. Is the reality on the ground. What is the reality for any young person who wants to bring about change anywhere in this country? What is the reality?
I'll answer straight. You know, before I became a member of parliament, I used to think, you know, once I become a member of parliament, you know, every household would get water. And actually, that is what I promise people.
Yeah.
That, you know, we will push to have, to create employment, and we'll do such and such. And just like Prezo is saying.
Yes.
I'm actually copying, or rather relating to what he's saying. Because he's even said, you know, if you elect me, if right now I can spend my money for the children's home.
Yes.
What will happen if I have CDF?
Yes.
And I'll tell him outrightly that you can't use CDF for children's homes. You can't use CDF to, you know, help women, empower women, as you're saying. You cannot use CDF to give people, you know, some money to grow, because spending CDF money is a bit. There are structures within the CDF Act, the National Government Constitutional Development Fund Act, that require you to use quite a huge chunk of money for education. And that is why, if you noticed, Ken Okoth did a lot with education, because he had actually 7 schools, or 7 or 8 schools. Yeah. We are given money equally. We all given 100 million per year, with constituencies, 200 schools like mine. Kibra, the whole Kibra has got 13 schools. The whole of Embakasi has got 11 schools. And we're given equally, and 70% goes for education. Wow. So you see, you'll realize that so many things that people dream about, you know, changing people and everything. The reality is this, and I'll tell the 2 aspirants that as you tell people you'll change them, please make sure you go through your roles. Go through Article 95 and 96 of the Constitution of Kenya. Get to see what your roles are, because again, you do not want to be misquoted. I mean, once you get elected, you know, people will be asking you, you told us you'll get us water. Yeah. Don't tell people you'll get them water. Water is a devolved function. Don't tell people you'll help them on health centers. That is a devolved function. And that is why some people are really facing a lot of negativity on the ground, because they really promise a lot. They don't really know that things are,
some of the
division of roles and everything.
Yeah, roles.
Exactly.
Mr. Mudhiora, are Kenyans ready for servant leadership as we get ready to wind up from each one of us? Are we ready for servant leadership, or we're still stuck up in populist sort of type of politics? And that's probably one of the reasons why a lot of people will not be able to understand the vision that you're coming from, the philosophy that you come from.
Most of the ones that I meet are ready for that kind of leadership. I think it depends on the kind of vibe that you exude. Maybe that's why I attract people who buy into the kind of vision I have. I'll tell you, since I got into this space, I have never found myself in a situation where I have to give out handouts. Why? Because I put myself out there as someone who is not about enabling you for the moment, but rather let us sit down and talk about how you can make your situation better for the future.
Cool. And
so,
yeah, just
before I conclude, there is something that Mheshimiwa said here. You see, if you're a leader, you've got to be able to at least aspire to transform your society. Otherwise, you have no business being there. And that's why sometimes I have a problem with the CDF, whereby this is national government money, it's taken, and then they kind of open small banks to distribute money to people down there, when actually a bank like Equity Bank or KCB could do a better job. But if someone sat and thought this whole process through and made the equalization he was talking about, people wouldn't need to be sycophants, to beg for these funds, because everyone would have been catered for at that level. Yes.
Cool. We're going to wind up and I'll go from CMB all the way to Honorable Osoro here. Mr. Prezo.
We're winding up already.
Yeah. Because we want you guys to go on the ground and do the work.
Absolutely.
So, Prezo, assuming obviously your constituents are watching you today, what do you want to tell them and as we wind up?
Well, you know, first I'd like to congratulate everybody on this panel, especially you, sir.
Thank you
all
very
the best.
much, Prezo.
And to you too, and to you too. Now, you see, us as Kenyans, what we need to do is take great strides into changing stigmas. We need to take great strides into giving better living conditions into the people who are in the slums. We have to take great strides to fight corruption. And at the same time, you know, the taxpayers need to feel the impact of the money that they pay for taxes. That way, you know, even if, like, say, we have delegates who go abroad, you know, you won't find any local or the general public. You know, the GP means? GP stands for general public. Yeah. The general public won't complain that, you know, they're using our money to do A, B, C, D. So once we put all those things in lock and key, then I think, you know, we still have more time to build this beautiful nation.
Awesome. Mr. Muthiora, you spoke about CDF, so I'm going to have to jump you because you concluded. Look, on level playing field. Please, in less than 30 seconds. Well, another final comment.
Yeah, I would like to encourage Kenyans.
Yes.
We have a beautiful nation. Kenya can be great. Let's believe in ourselves and fight the vices that keep putting us down. We can defeat them and make this nation great.
Awesome. Madam Editor.
Because I'm talking to Kibera people, nataka kuambia hivi. Kibera tunaweza, tuna viongozi, sisi tumezaliwa pale, tunaelewa zile shida zote tumepitia. Na haijalishi pali tumetoka, haijalishi ile kitu ilifanyika jana, kitu inajalisha ni ile mafikirio tuko nayo, ile positively ya kesho. Tuko pale, wana Kibra, tujichunge wakati tuna vote, tuvote na roho zetu. Tusivote na mind zetu, tusivote kwa sababu tunapewa bribes. Mimi niko pale kama msichana wenyu, mimi niko pale kama sister zenyu na nitatekeleza hizi vitu zote zenye naongelelea. Asante.
Honorable Osoro.
I just like the way she's selling herself.
Yes.
And, I must tell you and Prezo, the aspirants, especially for 2022 and 2019.
Yes, a few months.
Yeah, that, I mean, this thing is not meant for anyone. It's for either. I mean, anyone can make it. And nobody should scare you. Trust me. It doesn't really matter your background or where you come from or stuff like that. I saw Bahati here and I related it to myself. You might not really believe that, but at some point I was equally a street boy. But today I'm a member of parliament of one of the biggest constituencies in Kisii. So nobody should scare you, nobody should, nothing should worry you. If you read the good book, go read the book of Romans chapter 13 verse 1, leadership comes from God, and believe in him. And believe in yourself. Go out there, stop looking at Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that, because if people really don't talk about you in leadership, then you're doing nothing. People really need to talk about you negatively. In fact, if they praise you so much, then something is wrong with you. You need to be, you know, abused, you need to be insulted, you need to be, that is now when you're doing something very well. And finally, on the whole thing about politics, please, as you join politics, just know that this is a personal sacrifice. I can tell you, I perhaps could be about 3 steps behind now than before I came to Parliament, because what we do is more CSR it is that exactly. Yeah. Because you really need to touch people personally. You don't do that, you become unpopular on the ground. That is why when my brother Madira said about handouts, I laughed because that's a culture that we live in, and unfortunately, and that is
formalize it because you do it. Not everyone has.
It's formal.
We have to wind up.
It's actually formal.
You see now,
it's formal. Without money, it's very formal. Without money, you will not really appeal them.
Yes,
I wish you well, but especially on Kibera, I'll be counting votes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the leadership of Kenya. You say we are done, and then they insist now we want to bring the fire. From Mugirango all the way to Switzerland, I know he has early flights to catch.
Yes.
Nimekusema ndo watu wa Mugirango wajue that you're going to Switzerland, uletea watu nini kutoka Switzerland. Asanteni sana. Sasa mkafanye kazi ya kutumikia wananchi.
The time was very short, but it's fine.
And I can officially say you're now a politician, Prezo.
Sorry, come again?
I can officially say you're a politician.
Absolutely, bro.
Because of wanting a lot of time.
Political mode activated.
You remember the choice of his title.
Exactly.
Prezo. He was one of the three. Wakati Moi alienda, Kibaki akaja.
Awesome.
He was
Mpatie simu. Ongea zaidi au ongeza bundles ili uweze kufikisha target yako haraka. Alo, Johnny.
Nawe kila wakati.
Sasa Ruto de, hapa itaendaje sasa?
Hapana, sababu wewe si ufulize.
Nishafuliza na Raila ile mambo ya African Union.
Hai, mimi nimefuliza hadi kwa sako ya akina Recho bana.
Maze hapa ni kundi lala.
Wacha nikwambie Kalonzo. There comes a time when the interest of an individual is more important than that of a nation.
Tujifikirie kidogo. By the way.
And I'm here to report the Mwananchi how the Galana Kulalo project has fared so far.
Manze zimetushika lakini lazima jo tushike na njia nyingine QXYZ style. A big shout out to Benali manze jo beat chafua and of course 0000. Asante kwa kutupatia ngoma lakini manze jo cheki vile tuna flow nayo. Twende kazi. Wamenishika yo. Wamenishika yo.
I am Joseph Mungai Gikonyo, the proprietor of Garam Investments Auctioneers. I came to the Daily Nation because it was then, as it is still now, the newspaper with largest readership in the country. I didn't have to think twice about it. The Daily Nation is the cream of the crop. And I have seen tremendous growth in my business via the use of the Daily Nation.
Our leadership isn't challenged, and that's the truth. Daily Nation, the truth.
This week on Life Clinic.
A time like this, before I got this condition, I would have already showered and left the house to attend to my daily activities. But now I cannot.
These are the untold stories of how hydrocell shatters the lives of men.
It was baby steps. Getting out of the house, being able to walk till here where it happened, or till there, I would feel my heart beating so fast. It felt like I was reliving everything.
A young woman in Uganda rebuilds her life after surviving an acid attack.
Welcome to Turkana University College. Turkana University is a center of research, innovation, and technological development. Apply now for our January, May, and September intakes. Turkana University, the cradle of knowledge.
Okay, unataka kumaanisha tutashinda hapa the whole day?
Hii gate imeongeza weight.
Hapa ndio ulikuja kutafuta mtoto?
Hapana.
Ndugu yangu hapa Alwale, watu walisema kwamba yeye ni kipofu, ati haoni akitoka NASA. Tangu tumpeza macho, si mumeona?
Mimi nachukua napeleka yote kwa typing kwa kompyuta. Unajua kompyuta?
Mimi najua tu charanga. Hey.
Unajua wakale kwa runway wakasema ladies and gentlemen introducing Jepto.
Jamana kati ya demu wangu kwa sababu napenda kama silver badala ya dhahabu. Ubaya mi wangana jam kama Arabu, lakini mi utoa stress na kalamu na spit kwa mic na inatoka tu vitamu. Hii basi ni story ya demu wangu, sitaki magazeti ziharibu game yangu. Nimekana kadem kangu kasupu na mroga tu na mastyle zangu za vudu na zilikuwa zina flow.
You know why? Usilete kompe kwanza kwa trend yangu manze. I say usinilete hii ni show ya So the directors and everybody out there, producers, they're all singing. The legend is right here with his beautiful wife. I'm talking about Bamboo and Erica.
Yeah.
Yo, it is such an amazing honor to have you guys. We have definitely saved the best for last.
Thank you.
And I like this demeanor, energy, chilled out.
Yeah.
Before we get into the real serious kind of interview, Erica, how did you meet this Kenyan legend?
I invited him to Uganda.
Serious?
Yeah, and then...
Bamboo. Mkenya tumungi kosa kwenda.
Nili-exportiwa.
For real, so, okay, wait, let's go back. Yeah, you invited him to Uganda.
Yeah, I met him through a friend, and they met with that friend through Facebook.
Yeah.
So I started talking to him about my ministry. Then later I invited him to come and do ministry with us, and that's how we met.
Is this before or after your way to Damascus? Like when this journey
yeah,
happened?
this was long afterwards. This was afterwards. And we met through the friend in common that we have is called Tommy. Yeah, and his dad was the Archbishop Silas Owiti, who was, you know, very well known in Kisumu. So shout out to Tommy, by the way. And yeah, so he introduced us, even though I had not met with Tommy personally. And so he introduced me to her, and then we started chatting and talking. And then I met with her even before I met with Tommy personally. But, you know, he had connected
In terms
us.
of connections with her.
Yeah.
So now let's go back to when this journey began for you, as we slowly get into meeting Erica and also getting to know her journey. Bamboo, the secular artist, deciding to, or sort of, not really deciding because it's not a choice you make, it's a calling. Getting called and getting saved and beginning your journey in the gospel industry, sort of in the ministry. When did that moment happen, and what was that voice like? What was the message?
It was definitely a process. It doesn't happen quickly because, you know, salvation, Christianity, it requires a whole deprogramming of whatever you learned from childhood up to the point you got saved, and then a complete reprogramming of everything you've learned, everything, you know, from childhood up to the point you got saved. So for me, it was tough. And then the spotlight was on me at the same time. So whatever is happening as I'm trying to make this transformation is being publicized, you know. So it was definitely a difficult one, you know, and as soon as you get saved, it's these forces trying to pull you back, and you start getting used to the, you know, dealing with them. You start, it's like training, you know, it's almost like learning to box by being thrown into the ring, you know. And so I began going through the process and learning and increasing in knowledge and wisdom, and, you know, it was a process. But you know, it was triggered by certain events that took place that made me, like, you know, very shocked, shocked and disappointed at the same time at some of the things I witnessed in the secular industry.
You also come from a very interesting family, because the kids in the family are, you know, secular artists, apart from yourself now, and your parents are in the ministry. Did you ever feel pressure growing up that this is probably how you're gonna end up? And how does your mom and dad feel right now, knowing that our son is a gospel.
Yeah, you know, one thing is salvation is very personal, you know, and you make the decision when certain things, when you come to the realization of certain things.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I came through a process before I came to this realization of what is really going on, you know. And I've always been the freedom fighter type of guy, you know, like even in our Nairobi days when we did the first album, we were talking about how corruption is the order of the day, you know, we're being plundered as the youth, you know, we had no voice, and hip hop gave us a voice and a platform to speak out about, you know, the wrongs that were going on in society, you know, and the older generation seems to have turned their backs on us, and it's like everybody fend for themselves, you know. So, you know, when I made that decision, it definitely made my parents very, you know, very happy. But I think a lot of parents are trying to teach their children what Christianity is, but they don't know how to explain it. They don't know how to put it across. They don't know how to explain why it is. Teach these things. So it just looks like some religious practice, and they don't understand what's going on here. Why are you doing this? Why are you praying? Why are you abstaining from these things all of a sudden? You know, things that we used to call fun, you realize later on that, hey man, we're being set up, you know, we're just falling into the trap. And I think when I began to realize what's going on, it was shocking and disappointing, you know, because I just wanted to be a star like anyone else.
Yeah, Erica, your journey is quite interesting, and I've seen a lot of stuff online and watched you online from, you know, doing music and your involvement in, you know, in the dark world, so to say. And you have all the books that you've written, or?
We've written books with my husband, but 2 books are about my life. And then this one, he talks about money, the truth about money.
So we have this one book here, it's The Truth About Money.
Yeah. Then there is Erica Part 1, 7 Years in Hell.
Okay, so so there's this book, and it's all The Truth About Money by Tim Simon Bamboo Kimani. We also have another book. This is the Part 1, Erica Part 1, 7 Years in Hell. There's also this book right here that I want right there, A Story of Hell, Witchcraft and Family. And we also have Erica Part 2, 18 Years with Lucifer. This is the continuation of 7 Years in Hell. Definitely, we want to know how this journey
started.
Yeah.
I was born in a Christian family, but my grandmother on my paternal side was a high-level sorcerer. So being her favorite, she wanted me to inherit her sorcery. So she started initiating me when I was young, and at age 8, she had fully initiated me, because she knew that coming from a Christian family, my parents wouldn't want me to do what she was doing, so she did it without my parents knowing. Yeah, so at age 8, like during holidays, we would be taken to grandma, and then when we are supposed to start school is when we would go back to our parents. So she used that time when I visited her during holidays and initiated me into sorcery. So by the time I went back home, I was a high-level sorcerer. I was now controlling the eastern principalities of Uganda. Yeah, so at that age, someone would ask, why at that age? Because you are very young. But Satan wants people who are innocent. Because much as I was involved in sorcery, I was raised by a Christian family. So now I was introduced to the world through my relative, and then she introduced me to certain musicians in Uganda. They are popular. So that's how I now became friends with the musicians. And then from there, I met with an artist who also now took me deeper into Satanism. At age 11, it is through that musician that I met with Lucifer. So my journey when I was growing as a child was painful, because whatever happened to me, really I had no choice over everything that happened to me. It was just like a series of events.
Of events orchestrated by someone else on your life.
Yes.
And I would really recommend that you guys get the books that we've shown you guys, and we'll definitely also put these books up on social media so you can get to read this journey. But Bamboo, even as we get ready to wind up, because one of the interesting lessons we have to learn from today is the fact that a lot of people who are supposed to take care of us play a huge role in defining and molding who we become. But they take that opportunity to mold us and live precariously through us and be what they want us to be. Your mom, because I'm a close friend to your sister, Victoria Kimani. And and your mom has a children's home.
Yes.
And we have an amazing campaign by Geisha. It's all about mothers and the love and the sacrifice that mothers make for their children. And I believe you guys, you have children together, or?
No, not yet.
That was prophetic.
That was prophetic.
You didn't get it. You guys, that was prophetic. You're coming there, man. So, and your mom has a children's home, and she definitely has played a huge role not only in your lives, but also in the lives of other children. What is your take and sort of the last word on when we are given a responsibility as adults to take care of those kids, of those children, to mold them to become the future? What is your advice, and how do you also honor your mom today?
Yeah, I thank God for my mother and my father. I mean, because they've poured themselves into me and really helped to make me what I am today, you know. And one of the things that leaders can do is to inspire personal leadership in the next generation. And to do so is to help them to realize whatever gifting they have. Because if you just teach everyone the same, the way they do in school, you're assuming they all have the same giftings. So it's like telling a monkey to swim, you know, but the monkey doesn't swim. The monkey's better at climbing trees than it is at swimming. So when you put the monkey in the forest, you see its genius, you know, coming up. So we want to, you know, inspire them to realize what their gifts are, because God has given us each gifts, and then use those gifts positively in life, and your gifts will bring you before great people. And if you keep refining your gift and practice it and become better and better at it, you can utilize that to help other people. And the more assistance you can provide to others, the more relevant you become.
Awesome. It's sad that we cannot have a longer conversation than this,
Yes.
but we're going to put up the books on social media, on Twitter. Remember to hashtag #HeyAnto at NTV Kenya, The Trend Live. And we have so much more that you can get to learn from these books, and where you can also find the books and get to know more about them. We also have Jam of the Week right here on The Trend.
My dear Lord,
we cannot go by without being Kenyan, and you guys shouting out your people. And one of the things that we're interested also to know is how you were able to get deliverance. But that is information that I'd like people to buy these books and support you. And get that. But also, you guys, you should shout out your people.
A big shout out to you know, my mom and dad, definitely. A big shout out to Father's House Church. Come visit us in Riru. We're there every Sunday, every day, really. And we have awesome youth programs where we're, you know, we are promoting young youth. Big shout out to Voshti, you know, one of the dopest rappers coming up in Riru, and all the youth in Riru and Father's House, man. We love you. You know what it is. And Bamboo's dropping more music. Just because I'm married doesn't mean I'm not dropping music. So
and
watch this space.
You've now moved to Kenya.
Yes.
You see what happened? This Sebo asked you, you told this Sebo to come to Uganda. See what he did. Now, Nyabo, you're here.
Export, import.
I know. Thank you so much. I schooled in Uganda in a place called Migade.
Wow.
Yeah, so I also feel your energy, Manze. I wish you'd just come with some food. Like
Some
G-nuts.
matoke.
Some G-nuts.
Some matoke.
Yeah, from Uganda. But now I see why Bamboo is adding weight.
Matoke Luombo.
Oh my goodness. So you guys, we the show is over, but DJ E is about to turn this place upside down because it's about to be really, really lit. But before we do so, one of our own, celebrated his birthday this week. And as you guys know, I am probably I hate doing this, but let me do it. I am the only Kenyan artist with a building named after him. We all know this place called Anto Square. So I called in a few favors from my friends at Big Square, and I brought this amazing crew. You guys know how much I love this crew, from General Theodore to the DJs to the cameramen and the women to the sound guys, the guys doing graphics, the animators, the producers, directors, and I have decided to bring these guys pizzas. So, but it is because of this amazing director's birthday called Mike. So please, you guys, bring Mike to the studio. Yeah, let him come through, and Akina Ndenga, come through and let's eat this pizza. Na inaombewa na Bamboo and wife.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Kimani are gonna. So we wanna celebrate you guys, man. Muharakisha DJ E on the ones and twos. Yo mix Bamboo lukomenza nayo. DJ E, where are we gonna find this weekend? Where are you gonna be this weekend?
This weekend, tomorrow we're heading down to Naro.
Yes, with the Churchill Show.
So come on for Naro, we're coming through Mali.
That's what's up. So DJ, and where else can we find you apart from?
Of course, I'm a freelance DJ.
Yes.
In October we have a project.
Aujasha Mike.
Mike. So yeah. So I was saying, in October 20th, 18th to 20th, we're heading down as Subaru Forester.
What was Subaru? Forester, meaning so impressive.
Sindio.
Ni come through to bad.
Tunaenda pale Shanzu, Good Hope.
Yes.
We're doing a charity run. Charity
I've
drive.
seen nothing online.
So come if you want to join in, follow Forester.
Yakuje.
DJ no mpaka kona mic mbili.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for, so DJ E is on the ones and twos. What is this nonsense of Ati following his shoes? This BT thing you're trying to do here. Yo, DJ E, please play that Bamboo song that you are playing. If you gotta take it. Ati, you guys know the guy coming through is the director whose birthday we're celebrating. Na hizi sweta za nini za ndegwa juu ya baridi. So stand over here, right here. We are celebrating your birthday, Kofia. Young man, can you remove this hat so we can see you? And we have mom and dad right here. We're going to pray for you.
Yeah. Cheers, Papa.
So thank you. So this is your pizza that we have brought for you. And we want to say a happy birthday. Where is Maggie? Maggie and Julie. Come through. And Mumu Mishe. I don't want to get that meme that people are sharing online. Ebu come. Quickly, mnarakshanga magets na nyinyi amna mbio. So celebrating his birthday. Thank you very much to Anto Square for coming through for me and for Pizza Mojo and Big Square. General Theodore, please eat because I know your problems. So we have pizza, we have ribs for you guys. We have, what else do we have for you guys? We have pupil.
Mapenzi na washika mnaendelea. Watu wa vitenge tuko pamoja. Yenye mnaandika moja is king, ile ingine she is. Ulikosana na bwanako umevaa he is king. Mtu akikuuliza nani? Jehova Nyisi.
You had President Mwai Kibaki. Uganda had Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. You have Uhuru Kenya. Uganda is still having Yoweri Museveni.
So if you look clearly, what's happening here is
short time. Kama uko hapa na ujaoa bado, wacha leo tusaidiane. Inafaa utafute bibi. Wachana na bibi kwanza, tafuta Biblia.
Maisha yangu mziki.
Najua.
Kipato changu
mziki.
Najua. Nikipendacho mziki. Najua. Kipawa changu mziki.
Najua.
Maisha yangu mziki.
The second phase of the InterSwitch Spark competition has just been completed. The qualifying test determined the best 54 students who will proceed to the next round of the InterSwitch Spark National Science Competition to be aired on NTV. Overall, 1,498 students from across the country registered for the competition, with secondary schools in the Rift Valley registering the highest number of students at 372. The competition has reignited the interest in STEM subjects across the country. InterSwitch Spark National Science Competition will award the winner a scholarship worth 1.5 million shillings, a laptop, signage for their school, while the first and second runners-up will get cash and laptops. Who will be crowned winner at the end of it all? Come with us on this exciting ride. Powered by InterSwitch, transaction solutions you can depend on. Delicious International Food and Music Festival, brought to you by Delicious East Africa and Nation Media Group. To sponsor this event, please call us today.
You find retinoblastoma is commoner before the age of 5 because these tissues are still developing.
Discrimination has been there because all my primary life and high school life, I never had any discrimination because they thought it was a disease that can, go around affecting people.
Please look into that eye. You just need to shine a torch and you can be able to tell something is not right.
The Federation of Kenya Employers, FKE, invites you to the 3rd Employer of the Year Awards, Air and Gala Dinner at the Radisson Blu, Upper Hill, Nairobi on Friday, 20th September 2019 from 6 p.m.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated PG. It may contain scenes unsuitable for children under the age of 10.
Droga, instead of just standing there, why can't you make yourself useful and go get us some medicine? This has to be an allergic reaction to something.
Ati allergy? Hakuna allergy ili Ebola na itawakula nyinyi wote mutaenda.
What could this be?
I have no idea. I have an idea. Guess what? Ebola. Yeah.
Wait, I think I know what this is. You told me that you've never gotten chicken pox before?
No.
So have I, and Kyle as well. This is chicken pox.
Ooh, you need chicken pox. Mudadoko. Unajua nasikia kama mudhadoko ikishikana kwanza watu wakubwa hivi. Haiachiliagi, lazima iaguse. Sasa nyinyi, woi poleni sana. Mumeda. Na nikasema katu akakalia maka. Katawaigiza box, alafu kakawapatia chicken box. What? That is genius. At the box, chicken box. Hiyo tabuta anaweza tengeneza nao kaka muziki, si ndio? Niende desi monitor wimbo. Niseme tu nishawaigiza box kwa sababu nishawapatia chicken box, ama ukipenda ni mudhadoko ama ile inaitwa box. JB
This cannot be my offsprings. It cannot be my offsprings. What is this I got myself into? Victor Volcano Mayweather the second. Can you go and find yourself a job like all your peers?
Mzae.
Hatutaki kuwa na amani kwa hii nyumba. Tulia na uache pressure. Ni nini? Shia huko. How many times have I told you that only the Queen's language is to be spoken in this house? How many times? No, this cannot be happening. This cannot be happening to me. Thank goodness that was a dream. I'm definitely not cut for this.
Hey, sweetie. How was your night?
I want us to talk.
Me too. I've been thinking about us.
Same here.
Great. Let me share. I don't want you to surprise me again. I was thinking of Naivasha. You?
What has Naivasha done?
Well, we'll hold our wedding, of course.
Well, Tiffany, you see.
Gotcha. I know you thought that's what I'd choose for our honeymoon. That's entirely up to you. Whether you want Maldives or Zanzibar, I prefer Maldives though.
Well, Tiffany, you see, I am...
Well, how about Seychelles? Anyway, that's up to you.
Oh, my goodness. I hope this is not another dream.
Alois, what are you doing here? I thought you should be on your leave or something.
Vice Chair, nilikuwa nataka kukuongelesha kidogo tu.
About what? Come on, cut to the chase. I should be preparing to leave right now. Kuna shida?
Iko lakini ni sio kubwa kidogo.
Which is?
Vice Chair, mimi naye nataka muniongoze msara.
Alois, but did you just get an increment the other day?
Nilipata mshahara na nilipa itoshi. Nataka mniongeze mshahara sababu hata itoshi ya chakula.
Alois, you're one of the best paid guys in this estate. Maybe you're not budgeting for your salary properly.
Kujipanga najipanga, Vice ya kujipanga, kuna mtu anajua kujipanga, hii maisha kunishinda, lakini bado wapi, haitoshi kabisa. Mniongeze tu.
Well, I can't promise anything. Maybe you'll have to bring it up in the AGM in August.
August? August? Hey. Basi ya August naye ni mbali, siwezi ngoja.
So what's the solution?
Solution ni mniongeze mshahara ama niwache kazi. Hakuna kubembelezana sasa.
Alois, please just take the rest of the day off.
Okay, Adwagai. Tukubaliane, hakuna kupita yellow line. Sawa sawa?
Sure, can you bring us some water?
Huh? Ate what?
Yes, just like bring us some water. Do I have to keep on shouting or leave? Bring it.
Tulia, sawa sawa. Umpole maji inakuja.
I feel like to go to the toilet.
No, wacha nikuletee do. Hapo huko. Mtakuwa mnaendea hapa kama jera. Sawa sawa?
Njoroge.
Nini? No. Wacha niwaletee. Sicheze na mudhaduko. Mudhaduko ndio atakalimo. Hii namalizaga paka nini? Mubwa. Mtajua mimi ndio Uncle Boss mimi.
This is not happening. I'm not ready for this. If someone is not ready for something, you cannot force her. Hello? Who is this?
Hey, darling. How are you?
Please, don't darling me. You brought me problems.
Relax, sweetheart. When she found out?
I wish she did. Now she's serious about the proposal. Huh? I'm not ready for marriage.
Simwambie basi.
How?
Come to my place. We plan.
Look, never, ever. What? Never? You think I'm stupid to come back there? You, please, leave me alone. This one is just, will cause me problems. Delilah.
Hey, Mayweather.
Hi. Congratulations.
For what?
For your wedding. I hear it's happening soon.
You mean you already... Never mind. Oh God, now the whole estate knows. What am I going to do?
Hey, Mayweather, how are you?
Oh, I am fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. Oh, I had the good news. Congratulations on your marriage. When is the big day?
Oh my God. I have to undo this. No, I have to undo this.
Aliye juu bariki kazi ya mikono yako. Amen. Hey, maisha imekuwa ngumu kushinda hata mawe. Hapana. Ona sasa pesa yangu hivi ndio mshahara yangu imeisha tu hivi. Sina. Hakuna kitu hapa. Chakula wewe. Kukula mingi si mzuri. It is not advisable. Wacha niweke hapa kwa pombe, at least naweza saidia mwili. Kuna mtu rafiki yangu alikulanga mingi akapelekwa India juu amenona watoe chakula zingine. Hivyo ni alituacha. Kula mingi si mzuri, 250 umetosha chakula. Fair. Nijipate napanda gari ya mtu wale nijipate. Hey, Mungu akuwa mjinga kuniumba na miguu mbili. Mimi hapa msupport pombe. Miliwe. Nitakuwa natembea. Sara iko jameni. Yawa, airtime. Niniandika hapa airtime. Nijipate kwa airtime. Mtu ananitaka anipigie simu. Nikimtaka nitamtumia please call me thank you. Nipata hapo kwa airtime kwani hapa kwa pombe msupport. Niko na deni ya mama mboga ya 150. What? Maisha imekuwa ngumu. Sasa mama mboga ndakutolea wapi pesa na venye budget iko tight hivi? Hapana. Kwa rent. Ni deni. Rent nitalipa next month. This month nalipa 800 yenye imebaki nitamlipa next month. Watu ni kuongea tuwezi kwa sana. Kwanza tunapanga kwenda kuishi Runda. Sasa ni hivi. Na mbona nakula na haikufai nikule? Nafaa nini nipigie mwili asante jamani? Hii nyumba yangu hata nikienda nirudi chakula haitapotea. Lakini basi yangu Hiyo inaeleweka, si ndio? Basi yangu, nyumba ni yangu. Nyinyi mbaki tu hapo standby, nikitoka hivi na chakula isisumbuki ni kutafuta pesa. Nikapigia mwili asante.
Introducing the new salad oil with a spout for easy use. Comes packed with omega-6 and 9 and vitamin A and D and at a price that doesn't dent your wallet.
Leo utakula nyumbani.
Salad, siri ndio hiyo.
Who wants to answer? Mary?
Mary has a toothache.
Oh, I see. And who knows why?
Because her tooth is too big.
No, it might be a hole in her tooth called a cavity. That's why I brush twice a day using Colgate. Imagine this is your tooth and these are food acids that cause cavities. Colgate with calcium and fluoride helps prevent cavities for maximum cavity protection. And now available in a 12-gram sachet for fresh breath. Only 15 shillings.
Wake up to nothing but the best in news, conversation starters, and hard-hitting interviews that keep you informed for the day ahead.
Happened early, 6 on the nose. These people don't sleep. Fix first the data protection law, then we come up with the number.
Exactly my question to CS Joe Mushero.
Welcome to Living with Us. I'm your host, Sharon Mundia. Boy, have you missed out.
Stop your wheel, game done.
Thank you for joining us on NTV today.
We have our reporters in different locations.
NTV is right here to bring you everything from the beginning to the end.
Hii ni NTV Sasa.
Kuna mambo mengi sana ambayo yanafanyika.
Sasa ni kumtuliza. Hii inaitwa sensory integration.
Shughuli pevu ya kudunda viwanjani narejea kwake.
Na kurudisha hapa studioni.
Kuna mengi ambayo yanaendelea kujiri katika maeneo tofauti.
Tunavyoelewa nasema nini? Vimeundwa.
NTV in the morning. All you need to know to start your day.
NTV continues to bring you great entertainment, news and sports shows. Stay tuned to NTV. For free-to-air set-top boxes and digital TVs, please ensure your aerial is pointed for optimum picture. Then, rescan your set-top box to refresh the channels. When search is complete, scroll until you find your favorite channel under the name NTV or ADN NTV. Choose channel 91 on GoTV, 271 on DSTV, 106 on Star Times, 13 on Zuku, and we're also on Signet. NTV, turning on your world.
Dr. Francis Atwoli and Kotu would like to invite you to the 42nd General Council of the Organization of Africa Trade Union Unity to be held at Sarova Stanley Hotel in Nairobi. The theme for the 5-day conference will be Ending Violence and Harassment at the World of Work. The conference will also be live on NTV, 17th of September 2019 at 10 a.m.
You find retinoblastoma is commoner before the age of 5 because these tissues are still developing?
Discrimination has been there because all my primary life and high school life, I never had any desk mate because they thought it was a disease that can, go around affecting people.
Please look into that. You just need to shine a torch and you can be able to tell something is not right.
The Federation of Kenya Employers, FKE, invites you to the 3rd Employer of the Year Awards, Air and Gala Dinner at the Radisson Blu, Upper Hill, Nairobi on Friday, 20th September 2019 from 6 p.m.
Go get the stove.
Ni kama haiko.
What?
Kapatia mtu wa marimari, akatu exchange na pegs.
My mini-me on his new bike. #goals. #child support.
Flying.
Wewe toa tax au upate nimengoa mlango.
nikasafisha kila kitu kwa keja.
Sipaida wewe na kutambua.
I need more money for Liam's upkeep. That 50,000 is not enough.
Yes, season 4.
Welcome to Turkana University College. Turkana University is a center of research, innovation, and technological development. Apply now for our January, May, and September intakes. Turkana University, the cradle of knowledge.
How well does the business world know about your business? You take care of that when you participate in the Kenya Top 100 Mid-Sized Companies Survey and stand to benefit from an industry benchmarking report, opportunities to network with peers and recognition for innovation, corporate, social responsibility and sustainable environment practices. The Business Daily and KPMG recognizes the top 100 mid-sized companies every year for their achievements in business, allowing many to take their seat among the great. Participate today.
Habari yako?
Si sawa, sema.
Is Vanessa in?
Yuko lakini haezi kuona.
Why?
Kwa sababu ni mgonjwa.
Is that why she's not answering my call? Tell her Lucy's here.
Galia, madam, hata nikimwambia hawezi kuona. Nenda kuja after 3 months. Sawa sawa? Haya, tembea. Go. Tembea mama.
Jorge, open this door!
We seriously need to fire him. He's getting really unreasonable. How can he lock us in here?
No, I mean, I am getting so frustrated. I'm fed up.
We need to fire him.
I know, right? Then we'll just get another crazy one. It's like I've just been doomed from the beginning. Babe, how's the itching?
It's reduced.
Makairo, kuna msichana kwa hapa anaitwa Lucy, amesema umpigie simu.
Jorge, open this door! My phone is downstairs!
Acha kwanza nimalize kufunika vitu. Unajua vile unasemaga prevention is better than cure.
I swear I will fire you after this!
Poleni basi. Ni vile usalama unaanza na mimi na wewe.
Tiffany, we need to talk.
Yes, I'm all ears.
Well, you see,
Imagine the number of guests is at 600, and I've not yet included your guests.
We're going to have a big number.
You were saying?
Well, I was thinking if we...
Goodness. I've just remembered that I've not called the cake lady. I wanted to prepare everything early. I'd like the cake with the shape of a castle. You were thinking?
I don't think I...
Which flavor would you like? Mango meringue, cherry cheesecake, Oreo cheesecake, banana with cream frosting.
Tiffany, can you let me speak?
Okay. I'm sorry, darling. I'm just overwhelmed by your love.
Which I think is a big mistake.
What mistake?
This arrangement. I'm not ready.
Gotcha. I know you want to surprise me, but I'm not falling for it again. Where's the ring? Okay. Surprise. Mayweather, this is the part where you go down on your knee and remove the ring you're supposed to give me. Ta-da.
Oh my goodness.
Ama nitafute tu kazi nyingine ya usiku nifanyange. At least itanisaidia kuraise hiyo pesa. Tuone kama hiyo pesa itatoshea. Shindwe. Pepo mbaya. Hai. Watu wa pikipiki, watu wa ndudhi wanaga akili. Hawana. Hai. Kumbe huyu mtu wa ndudhi alikuwa ametumwa nipate kazi nini? Sina haja credit. Tulikuwa na credit kwa hii simu na pia ilikuwa kwa budget. Niko na namba.
By the time I'm done with her, she will not even be dreaming of a wedding.
Goodness me, I'm so disgusting.
Oh, my mannerless sweetheart. I see we're past the shine off stage. We're now free with each other. I love that. Come see the gowns.
Tiffany, how many times have I told you to always press the toothpaste from the bottom?
I'm sorry, I forgot.
Sorry is not enough.
Okay, what else do you want me to say?
Well, you should know that I am very petty. Very, very petty. Huh? So you should decide if you want to live with my pettiness or you want to leave me.
I like it when you're petty. That means you love me and you want the best out of me. Wow. I was actually looking for work to do. Yeah. Let me tidy this room up. Like a good wife. Oh.
Tulikuwa tunakuja kwa KDF na sijui. Hii ilikuwa training ya KDF. Hapana.
Wewe. Kuja unafanya nini hapa? Wewe ni kurudu bado bwana. Twende. Sisi wote makurudu. Faster.
Let's go.
Faster. 1, 2. Penda kazi kupenda. Penda kazi kupenda. Penda kazi. Faster. Faster. Hapo. Ai, hapana. Kwani tulikuwa tunaenda kubeba waizi? Wewe, faster. Wewe, faster. Twende. Oh, wonderful. Now, each one of you has passed the test. So, welcome to the company. Welcome. Good. Now, Sasa, from tomorrow, everyone will be deployed to their respective working place. Sasa, open the envelopes. Hapo mtapata mshahara yenu na pale ambapo mtaenda kufanya kazi. Sawa?
Yes, sir. Hapana mkubwa. Hapa kuna shida kubwa.
Shida gani? Shida gani?
Shida kubwa. Yaani naona hapa imeandikwa napeleka kwa supermarket yenye iko Kitui.
Yes, of course. Huko ndo penye unaenda kufanya kazi.
Na mshahara ya 4,500.
Yes.
Ai, after hii training yote, bwana nataka kunipeleka kwa supermarket Kitui.
Of course. Kwani ulikuwa unataka nikupeleke wapi?
Mombasa.
Nani mwingine wa Mombasa?
Alois?
Chairman, Vice Chairman. Nataka tu kuambia zile vitu nilikuwa naongea jana. Nilikuwa tu ni porojo na panganga na nini? Ni shetani tu. Mapepo.
I see.
Do not get too close to him, okay?
Sorry, Njoroge. Enjoy more than Doko.
We're going to take some breakfast. We clearly can't cook for us like that. Oh, I'm sorry about that, you know? But, you know, you'll feel better soon, okay? Okay.
Okay. Everything I tried yesterday failed. They said this is foolproof.
What's the matter?
I want us to talk.
You've been saying that since yesterday. What is it?
I don't think this will work out. I think we should break up.
So this is what the whole thing was all about. You trying to make me break up with you.
Well, you see,
Hey, with that? You see, you and I, we're meant to be. And that means forever and ever. Oh, gosh.
Tinda, you won't let us watch cartoons.
Hebu tokeni hapa mwende mfanye homework mkwe madaktari, hatutaki compare kwa kazi yetu ya mambochi.
You're talking to the once high school basketball captain.
Msichana sana kwanga mrembo haki. Huyu aliumbwa nini jamani ya mbinguni siti kuumbwa China ya mbinguni.
Unasikiaje kuoa bibi hata ajui kupika?
That's what we employed your son to do.
Fanya kitu mzuri, mtafutie bibi kwa marafiki zako.
What?
Anti-bus.
My name is Joyce Njogu. I'm the head of consulting at the Kenya Association of Manufacturers. It's a business membership organization for manufacturing value-add industries with close to 1,000 members. From Daily Nation, we've been able to build our brand As CAM, we've been able to build the credibility of CAM, because the more you communicate through the Daily Nation, the more we have partners wanting to engage with us and be part of the development agenda.
Our leadership isn't challenged, and that's the truth. Daily Nation, the truth.
We are in Senegal to find out why so many entrepreneurs are increasingly turning to co-working spaces.
Are you planning to take a loan, or are you servicing one already? The problem is many citizens are becoming prisoners of these systems.
And do you have any regrets? Like, would you change anything?
That's how we wanted our ideal magical wedding to look like.
Welcome to Turkana University College. Turkana University is a center of research, innovation, and technological development. Apply now for our January, May, and September intakes. Turkana University, the cradle of knowledge.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated PG. It may contain scenes unsuitable for children under the age of 10.
Hello and welcome to the Wicked Edition. I'm Dr. Kingori. Thank you for joining us for yet another classic episode of the Wicked Edition. Our guests on this episode have served 5 years each at the Committee Maximum Prison at almost different times. Theirs is a story you should not miss for anything. Kaploti Mwenyewe and Drendende are in the house. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Asanteni sana. That said, we start with some bad news, but don't worry, I've got some good news from Telkom Kenya coming up in a bit. The bad news is that the DCI this week announced that anyone found guilty of mistreating chicken could end up in jail for up to 6 months, pay a fine of 3,000 bob, or both. It's not clear whether this directive was inspired by this picture of a boda guy ferrying chicken or last week's incident between rapper Barak Jacuzzi and one of his chicks. Barak, how many times can I be pregnant for you? Muno jomtu aza kuwa pregnant once a year. That seemed like a lot. Now, in this context, most of you would agree that this image right here is an exact depiction of Diamond Platinum's marital status. On the real though, a mistreatment of chicken is officially a serious offense, but this has left many Kenyans speculating. You have to slaughter a hen to cook it. Lazima ichinjwe. Is there a better way to do that without hurting the hen? As in, think of it. What form of mistreatment can be worse than being slaughtered alafu kulwe na chipo? As in, think. Now, with the new directive, Kenyans may now be forced to wait for chicken to die of natural causes. Mheshimiwa naomba koti nisamehe. Hatugegoja kuku ikufe juu ya uzee. Nilikuwa na wageni na singeanza kuwapatia boga kama sugura. Alafu hiyo kuku ambaye nimeshtakiwa the complainant in absentia. Ama mweda zake jogoo ambaye hayupo. Lakini naweza wahakikishia kwamba jogoo na aliweka roho yake mahali pema. Yes. Alikuwa hali maututi. Alafu sisi pia si ati tulikuwa mahali pazuri. Njaa ilikuwa inatuua. In fact, sisi kukula hiyo kuku ilikuwa life support ya maisha yetu. Ndio maana tuko hapa siku ya leo. Huyo jogoo ni shujaa, alikufa ndio sisi tuishi. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Your Honor, in this case, you don't judge a cook by his server. Now, yes, the DCI has not specified what they mean by mistreatment of chicken, and this really widens the scope because with chicken, mistreatment could be so many things. Hiyo kuanikwa kwa kioo bila nguo is infringement of privacy. It's defamation. Yes, kutolewa manyoya can fall under sexual harassment. Or what do you call this? Mtu akikufanya fanya hivi. Hivi. What do you call that? Now, frying your children. They do not even have a name for this yet. Hii ni madharau ya hali ya juu. And come to think of it, if cooking eggs will fall under the mistreatment of chicken, then this will be the first time DCI will be arresting members of the frying squad. Yes, for real, yes. Now, in other news, a section of Kenyans made fun of Victor Kinothia, a local media house reporter, covering the arrest of Kiharu MP Ndindi Nyoro for this live link.
We had briefed by Murang'a County Commander Joshua Kenywa.
I think it's unfair, it's unfortunate that most of the people who were complaining because they were mad that Kinothia was speaking like Governor Waitito. But honestly speaking, we need to move away from the judgment of people by how good they are at expressing themselves in the English language. We all understood what Kinothia was saying. Here's a clip ya mtu anaongea Kizungu. Good luck understanding what he's talking about.
Your MPs will be going back to the National Assembly today. What do you expect?
The current MPs, I want to say that they are cesspit, hypocritical politicians who are only going to titillate the minds of Kenyans in order to vamoose their tedium and vacuous ideologies, in order to please their capricious gods of magics, political personality cults in this country. These guys, they are being tormented by the following two spirits, incubus and succubus.
Surely. Hase utubebaje. Now also in the latest episode of Ile Upuzi Koi Kenya ni mwingi sana, a couple in Busia have exchanged spouses in the top coveting affair yet.
Kidogo nikaona mwanamke ameingia amevaa jaketi yake. Amepepa ananiambia we mama nakwambia unipe nafasi kuanzia sasa hii nyumba ni yangu. Kwanza vile aliniambia hivyo nikaupikia ndugu yangu simu nikamwambia uko hivi na hivi na hivi. Akaniambia yeye ndiye anakutuma kuoleka. Basi enda uoleke.
Huyu akarauka hapa asubuhi. Akanielezea iko hivi. Akasema sawa. Kilioko sio umefukuzwa yeye. Na mimi simenyang'anywa yeye. Sasa Kilioko wabaya wawili wapatani, wazuri wawili wafanye nini? Pia waishi pamoja.
This whole story prompts the question, what's the value of a wife in Western Kenya? Huko Western ndio recently we had a case of a man who used his wife to settle a 900 bob debt. Aliuza wife yake 900 bob. Si ati 900 bob sio pesa, but think of it like this. Earphones nzuri zinakuanga 1200. Think about that. Now, we also have a case of another man who traded his wife ndio apate soda ya Christmas. Guess where it happened?
Bodaboda amemuuzia mwanamume mwenzake mkewe kwa shilingi 500. Inadaiwa mwanamume huyu alimuuza mkewe wakati wa Christmas ndipo apate pesa za kujienjoy wakati wa Christmas. Wenyeji wanasema kwamba mwanamume huyu alikuwa na kiu cha soda na hakuwa na pesa za kununua soda wakati huo, ndipo akaamua kumuuza mkewe.
Au, ukiona mtu amefika ku-exchange wife yake na soda, that's a different form of thirst in a relationship. See, you do realize that this could mean that in Western Kenya, drinks ndio mayengs. For real. And what's the value of a wife in Western Kenya? Please help me answer this question. Talk to me on Twitter and Instagram at Dr_Kingori, Dr. Kingori on Facebook. That's Dr. Kingori. Now, if you've observed recently, it seems like getting arrested turns politicians from victims to heroes. Look at the recent case, for example, the arrest of Kiharu MP Ndindi Nyoro. And sio hiyo peke yake, this goes back to the days of the Kapenguria 6. In fact, one of the things Nelson Mandela is widely known for is for the 27 years he spent in prison. Na hata huyu McDonald Mariga, the newest politician in Kenya, unajua amefungwa mara ngapi? Na for real. Angalia history. Some people actually make going to jail seem like a fashionable thing. Musician Akon took pride in the concept of being arrested, and that as in Ali take pride in it so much that he started a music label inspired by the same. Inaitwa Convict Music. In one of the viral videos, the chief general commander, he actually admits that he was a prisoner.
Sijaribu kutisha nganga. Tena wewe hujaenda jela. Wewe hakuna kitu unajua. Wewe umetoka tu shule ukaokoka.
What is it? What is it that mtu akienda jela akona kitu ya kuringia watu? And the list of people when you wanna floss na hiyo kwenda jela, the list is so long. I can go on and on. There are so many stories about what goes on in jail or what it actually is. And that's why our guests on the show tonight are two individuals who have been guests of state for at least 5 years at the Committee Maximum Prison. Let's extend this conversation to the second part of the show with Kaploti, who is now a musician, and Ndrendende, who is a comedian, so that we can get to hear from their experience. See you on the other end of this break.
Have been on the forefront for corruption.
And that's a good place to begin. A lot of this corruption happens because private sector and government are in bed together.
We've had this talk many times.
How drastic should the measures be taken? Because we can't keep on talking.
We don't see any action. The president has the ability to actually fire people.
I like to ask a direct question for direct answers. The heart of humanity, how do you still have it when you're such a hardened soldier?
This is not about you, it's not about your life. It's about the country that I serve.
This is where the real conversation happens.
You find retinoblastoma is commoner before the age of 5 because these tissues are still developing.
Discrimination has been there because all my primary life and high school life, I never had any desk mate because they thought it was a disease that can, go around affecting people.
Please look into that eye. You just need to shine a torch and you can be able to tell something is not right.
The Federation of Kenya Employers, FKE, invites you to the 3rd Employer of the Year Awards, Air and Gala Dinner at the Radisson Blu, Upper Hill, Nairobi on Friday, 20th September 2019 from 6 p.m.
Sasa Ruto de, apeta itendaje sasa?
Hapana, sababu wewe si ufulize.
Nishafuliza na Raila ile mambo ya Africa Union.
Hai, mimi nimefuliza hadi kwa sako ya akina Recho bana.
Maze hapa ni kundia lala.
Wacha nikuambie Kalonzo. There comes a time when the interest of an individual is more important than that of a nation.
Tujifikirie kidogo. By the way.
And I'm here to report the Mwananchi how the Galana Kulalo project has fared so far.
Manze zimetushika lakini lazima jo tushike na njia nyingine QXYZ style. A big shout out to Benali manze jo beat chafua and of course 0000. Asante kwa kutupatia ngoma lakini manze jo cheki vile tuna flow nayo. Twende kazi. Wamenishika yo. Wamenishika yo.
Welcome back to the Weekend Edition. I'm Dr. Kingori. Like I promised, we have a classic show lined up for you. Leo hata spend any more moment kwa introduction because story ya leo hata mimi inanipatia mahenjem sana. Our guest on the show tonight ni Kaploti na Ndrendende. Wapi makofi yao? Thank you. Asi wawili wameonja life. Asi wawili wamesukuma 5 years committee. 5 years each, different times. How did you ulipushaje one day at a time to 5 years?
Before niende committee nilikuwa nafanya muziki. So nikiingia committee usanii jaisha. So mara nyingi nilikuwa ndugu zangu walikuwa wananiletea exercise book. So nilikuwa naandika mistari sana. Alafu unapata mara nyingi nilikuwa nasoma gazeti sana na koplo. So hata time naachiliwa watu wengi walikuwa wanasema kale kamseka alikuwa kanasoma gazeti na koplo kamsanii kameachiliwa.
Kingori mimi nikiingia siku ya kwanza sijui chochote.
Jua kwanza mono wanaitwaje huko wani?
Mono kwanza mje na depend. Uninganya wewe
wanasema unanuka raia.
Wewe unanuka raia. Hii wewe ni mtu unaweza tumota tishu.
Wewe ni smart unanuka raia.
Si mimi wache.
Kama umeshuka ukiingia huko unaona hizo watu wanachikia wako na manati hao boy wako unamuita nani huyu mwenye
Spanner boy.
Yes. Huyu ni Njeri. Akona matuta.
Ukiingia na nyua.
Njeri amekama. Akona matuta. Ni hot cake. Watu wanaanza kumwani.
Watu watampigania.
Mimi nikiingia siku ya kwanza kabisa Sina rada vile kunaenda kabisa. Niliingia 6. Manyunyu ilikuwa inanyesha. So mimi kuingia kwanza naona ukute imeandikwa kuingia rahisi kutoka ni ngori. Lakini mimi sasa mimi nasema mimi nje kwa akili yangu.
Na unajua huko 5 years?
Mimi kwa akili yangu najua natoka kesho. Mimi ni innocent na dunini hapa. Unaona?
Kila mse huko yuko innocent, tuanze naye pia.
Jela ukiingia wewe iwe ni innocent ama wewe si innocent, wewe ndio umetenda. Okay. Wanakuambia kwa mtalishika kwa kanisa.
Okay.
Wewe ndio umetenda. Okay. So nikaingia, nikachukuliwa namba, nikaachiliwa wewe kwenda. Ni kama sasa wewe umeanza kuishi.
Au umesahau kwanza bado unajua lazima tero itembee.
Tero lazima utembee. Kulikuwa na jamaa aitwaga afande Mr. Msao, afande Masai. Anakuja, anainua kwanza kabla anakusimamisha hapo. Anainua belt yake high waist. Anaifikisha hapa. Anakushika roho hivi. Ikipiga tup anakwambia ndoa.
Toa ile kitu
Azina kikushika hivi anakuambia toa yote.
Yaani ametosha kukushika roho.
Anajua you tense.
Ukitense tu anajua kuna kitu
umebeba yenye si ifai kukanda
kuna marufuku.
Ameisomea.
Kama kuna story crazy ya ndende ati wase wao ingia jela na mayai ya kuku. Msee atembe hivi na akona mayai kwa mwili. Alafu ikifika usiku anaenda kutaga kwa sel.
What happened? What happened? Ona what happened? Kenye na happen ni hivi. Unajua jela watu wanaenda kotini. Mtu anaenda kotini anaenda after 14 days, after every 14 days. So wewe at least wewe unaenda kuona raia. Hata kama
every 14 days kama uko na kesi
after every 14 days.
Yes.
So ukienda mention kotini wakati unapitishwa na mudiopa, hiyo gari tunaitaga mudiopa, hiyo gari ya askari jela.
Inaitwa mudiopa kwa nini?
Cause ilikamna reforms za Mudia Wori. Yeye alileta hizo reforms.
So inaitwa mudiopa.
Mko na mpaka shengi yenu huko.
Hiyo inaitwa mudiopa.
Kuna shengi mbaya baba.
Okay. Yes.
So wakati unaenda kotini unakuwa umetumwa na wafungwa.
Yes.
Wenzako. Kuna mfungwa ako na doa au una do. Kuna mfungwa anakuja na kwambia ni aje, kuna bangi zinaingia hapo ngapi?
Mwambie kuna mfungwa ni smarter. Na kuna mfungwa wewe Kingori ni losti.
Hauna mtu
wewe hata uonekanagi wewe watu wakienda kuonana wao unawaambia simsalimia mabeste zenyu because wewe ni losti hauna mtu.
Yaani watu walikusahau.
Watu walikusahau.
Mpaka raha yako ni kidogo mtu wa nje na
familia ilikutupia mkono.
So unajua pale umefunikwa na ukuta. Hakuna wewe uko ndani ya ukuta. Huwezi pita ile side nyingine. Ile ni place yenye nimekaa miaka 5 miezi 6 sijaiona giza buda.
Giza?
Unaona giza wapi? Unafungiwa unafungiwa kuna ile floodlight. Kuna ile stima. Ufai kuizima usiku. Unaamka saa ngapi? Unaamka 6. Unafunguliwa unachukua uji. Uji unachukuliwa 6. Haya saa 4 mchana umechukua lunch. Lunch ni saa 4 unapiga lunch. Haya saa 7:30
wakati unaambia doctor lunch yeye anadhani ni buffet.
Hapana.
Mwambie unapita songa.
Kila mtu
pita songa. Ukipita unasonga.
Pita songa.
Kila mtu ni pita we songa.
Pita we songa. Pita we songa. Pita we songa. Pita we songa. Pita we songa. So nyinyi wote ni pita we songa. Pita we songa.
Kila mtu anapata equal. Kila mtu anapata
inategemea umauri yako.
What they do kukula si ati ni kama haki yako. Si lazima ufaitie ordinary.
Si haki yako.
So umepanga line mfungo mwenzako anaigawa. So hiyo uiwekaga tu pita. Weka pita. Weka pita. Hata akipiga miss wewe enda.
Unaenda bila kitu.
Enda kama endaga. Ukijaribu kugoma afande huyo amegoma. Unaelewa utapigwa rungu.
Na sasa hiyo ya contraband kuna wasi wameiva tu ama ni training ama ni life tu ikupate wewe uambiwe ulikuwa umesema ati kuna bangi zinaingia na
okay Kenya wanadu so unaenda kotini. Ukienda kotini umetumwa na mfungo mwenyako amejaa wewe ni losti. Wewe unaga watu. Wewe unategemea huyu msa kutuma mletee marufuku yake kutoka kotini akupatie kitu uweze kubuy no food.
But hata before useme hiyo kitu ni nini mse uogopa akiwa jela juu ukishikwa na makosa si uko jela ama
Ndio, hakuna kitu naogopa. Lakini kumbuka mwenye amekuleta pale unaweza kuwa umetumwa na onyancha. Huo ni mtu anakula watu. Buda amekutuma mali yake ikuje. Amekupatia sheria, mjana kutuma pengine uende ulete mzigo yake. Anakuambia sheria ni msumeno. Heri mzige fike lakini punde ikufe. Hataki kujua. Punde kufa inamaanisha wewe ukiangukiwa na askari na mali yangu bora nifikie, lakini wewe uliwa tu. Unaelewa?
Na kuna places you fika to that extreme.
Mingi. Hata unapigwa search umetoka kotini na mali yake. Ako hapa amesimama yeye mwenyewe anaangalia kama utaangushwa au utaangushwa. Juu mfungo pia ni ordinary. Akienda kotini, umejua huko chakula ni noma. Sasa wewe umeenda kotini, umeitisha mayai, vile nilikuwa nimekueleza unaitisha mayai, ukiitisha mayai unaweka mbamu. Tuitaga boot, hiyo ndo mfuko wa mfungwa. Umebeba mayai 6.
Unatembea na mayai 6.
Hiyo ni kidogo babadao. Mimi nakwambia ni kidogo kingori.
Mayai 6.
Mtu anatembea na sabuni, nusu ya sabuni.
Boilo kwanza.
Pale ni vituko mzee. Ile ni hell.
Na si nimeambiwa ama from zile story nasikia huko kuna mastaa. Kama nilikuwa nauliza Ndrendende hapa, kama unajua kuna wase ujichocha ati mimi nitakufanya sijui nini haogopi kwenda jela. Unasikia kama Pastor Nganga anasema hakuna kitu inamtisha ameenda jela. Si kuna mastaa wenye jela iwatishi hata kidogo.
Kenye inafanyikaga unapata mtu ni jailbird kwa kutaka kwake. Akikuja hapa raia anafanya makosa, anafanya crime. Alafu akishafanya crime anaenda tu pale kwa chief, bendera ikiwa imepandishwa, anateremsha hiyo bendera. Akiteremsha anajua kifungo yake ni miezi 6. Anajua anapigwa kwa miezi 6. Kitandaki endagi. Anakaa huko kwa exile. Hiyo mjasa sasa anatafuta kwa raia. Raia juu yako huko ndani. Sasa anatafutagwa anakaa exile huko, anatesa na sumbona na wafungwa, anaachiliwa baada ya miezi 6. Tena anarudi anafanya crime, anaenda tu kwa chief tena anateremsha bendera. Hizo ndio kesi zake. Hivyo ndio vile anaishi.
Ngoja. Mimi siwezi jingiza kwa business ya kujua guilt or innocence. Mimi si expert wa hiyo. But wewe unasema haukudu chenye ulishikiwa. So uko ndani pia kuna wasie wenye deep inside wanajua kuna kitu walifanya but wanapiga.
Kwanza Mamasai
wako wengi sana.
Mawochi wanasota mzee. Umejua hapa kukirobiwa hapa saa hizi. Hapa tuseme tu hapa hii ofisi yenyu saa hii. Mtu wa kwanza kama suspect ni soja. Au shikwa kwa noma wajui.
Wako huko ndani na hawajui.
Kitu ya kwanza inakuaga ni soja.
Masoja wako wengi.
Na ni Masai hajui kufanya kesi. Wewe jua hivyo. Nakula mbuzi na mawe. Yaani yeye ajui vile ataanza. Na wote nakulaga langa, mimi nalala, napata, nashikwa, nafikishwa hapa na anobisa hizo anatetea shingo mzee. So awamezeagi.
Na system inajua ase wako huko ndani na hawana godi yote, hawajui na hawajui kujitetea.
Wanajua na at the end of the day unajua you're innocent until proven guilty. So you have to fight for your guilty, usipatikane. Unajua lazima upiganie ngori yako.
Life ya wasi wako jela for example, msee alikuwa karao ama msee alikuwa judge akashikwa akapelekwa huko yuko aje.
Kwanza ukiwa ulikuwa karao mzee, hiyo lazima umake sure umelalishwa seli nyingine, usilalishwe na hawa watu. Utalimwa.
Kenya wanadu, karao akishikwa anapelekwa place inaitwa segregation.
Yeye upelekwa segregation.
Segregation ya watu wangapi? Watu wawili. Either soja, CID, karao na chizi. Wewe unakaa na wazimu. Kuna tu chizi kazi yake ni kujirarua na wembe. Na unasikia usimnyang'anye wembe na unaambia mpaka na makaro ukimnyang'anya wembe anazajiua. Ni noma.
Alafu unajua hata kitu cha kushangaza na hii ni hata kwa audience. Mara nyingi watu wanazoea kuokota tu vitu. Unaweza pata hata kuna jamaa nilikuwa naye, yeye alikuwa na kesi ya rape. Lakini si alirape. Yeye alikuwa anaenda nyumbani akapata jacket imeanguka mahali. Yakaokota ile jacket. Akavaa. Akienda kufika home, si ametulia amelala. Yule demu ambaye alikuwa amerepiwa, wale majamaa walikuwa wamemrape, wakakutana na makarao wakawashika. Wakapelekwa station na yule demu akapelekwa station. Alafu hiyo kijiji ikakuwa inachunguzwa, hiyo wanatafutana nini vitu za yule demu. Ile jako yule demu ikapatikana na huyu jamaa. Pia huyu jamaa ndani ya miti
akaingia ndani. Mmekaa nje at least a few years. Umaiogopa kuumwa tena hata tu kuingizwa sela?
Acha nikwambie lazima tu uogope juu acha nikwambie mimi kwanza vile nilishikwa nikaona kenye nime go through pale ndani. Nilitamani heri wangenimada. kuliko kuile Kenya napitia.
Hiyo 5 years.
Hiyo 5 years mzee, siku moja jela ni kama 1 year kumaliza. Ni kama 1 year. Pale hivyo yenyewe ni kama hell. Huko choo ni 2, wafungo ni 6,000. Ukifunguliwa hata uingiagi na ni open air. Unainama unasikia toka 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 toka. Ukitoka hujaridhika, unarudi kwa line number 5016. Line ya line ya choo. Unasikia? Line ya choo ndio bado line ya uji. Unatoka kwa choo umechukua line ya uji. Hakuna kupanga line mara 2.
Hebu ngoja, ati line ni moja,
si ufungule. Kuna lock up. Lock up unafungiwa usiku. Juu uko unafungua usiku, kuna rooms. Kuna state house, kuna ile room iko na mattress, kuna yenye iko na simiti, kuna yenye iko na blanketi peke yake. Na mja bado huko ni maisha kama huko. Kuna landlord, kuna kulipa rent. Sawa? Na ndio uchague nyumba poa. Kama ni state house unapelekwa nyumba iko na mattress at least. Kama ni hivi ni hivi. Chawa kuna kuua. Ukiwa wewe ni afande unaua. Jione na kuchunga. Hata mwenye anakupenda ni afande mwenzako. Mfungo mwenzako. Ukiwa tu hivi afande, huyo anaua koplo. Mimi nakwambia kuna kuua chawa. Huwezi uwa chawa mbele ya karao. Hakunaga kuua chawa mbele ya askari. Hiyo unaua afande. Huyo ni askari anakuchunga usiku.
Sawa. Maybe tunaweza need kufanya show nyingine Kapoloti. Nyi wote ni wasanii, wewe unafanya comedy, umekuwa hata Churchill. Kapoloti anadu ngoma, unaweza tafuta ngoma za Kapoloti inaitwa YouTube. Mimi nimewatch Mfungwa by the way. It's a very very good poetic story. Search Kapoloti, Kapoloti mwenyewe on YouTube. Ngoma zake ziko hapo, very good quality. But sasa kitu ya mwisho before niwache mwende. Maze hizi story ni refu sana na unfortunately maybe hatuwezi toboa kuongea zote juu ya time. Kapoloti, what was the feeling, na wewe pia utatujibu hiyo, ile siku ya uliambiwa unatoka unaenda home?
Ili happen vifani. Niliitwa ile unaitwa peke yako, alafu haujui ni kwa nini unaitwa. Nikapelekwa Makadara, nikaekwa kwa cell, niko peke yangu. Then akili na run, unachimba sasa hapa tena zogo gani? Hapa panaenda kuaje? So nikawa vitu nyingi zina run kwa mind. Kuna mtu mmoja ambaye alinipatia matumaini, lakini pia nilikuwa like hiki jamaa kinaweza kwa kinanipima. Aliniambia Budo unaweza enda home. Niko na hizi ni masinema, hiki kinanipima. So nikawa zile kidogo siamini nini na nini. But nilipoitwa kwa private chamber, cause judge alitoa ruling yake kwa private chamber. Alipotoa ruling kwa private chamber na akaniambia nimeachiliwa, I guess the only thing nilifanya nililia.
Ilikuwa
mwanangu, nililia, sikuamini.
Si experience unaweza taka tena.
Alafu nikiimagine mother ajui, Buda ajui. Alafu hao walikuwa shakubali matokeo like sitatoka. Cause nakumbuka nikienda jela na ile time mother anakuja kuniona aliniambia Buda amesema haezi kuwekea leo kwa sababu hatuna do. Mimi natoka Sowe Kayole. Hatuna do. So hapo ndio kimwanaume nikajua hapa lazima nipigane. It's either ni nyongo ama nitoke.
Okay.
That's why nikapigana nikatoka. Nilipotoka nilifika home, mamangu alipiga nduru. Nikaa ameona ghost.
Mimi on 30th 6 asubuhi nilikuwa nimevaa jezi ya Brazil imeandikwa kaka namba 8, nakumbuka vizuri sana. Nilikujua 6 na maskari 5. Wakanidunga toka. Mjua watu wengi utakaka kujiua ama kutoroka wakati wanasikia ni judgment, watakagi uamuzi. So waliniambia toka. Manze uwezi hata nini, hata uwezi geuka. Ni noma. Wakaniambia msinipeleke mbio, mimi najua nafaa kwenda judgment. Mbona mnanipeleka mbio? Wakaniambia toka, vaa nguo, haraka unaenda kotini. Manze nikatoka. Natembea katikati ya kiwanja. Wafungwa kwa wote kwa makio kwa TV. Tunaitaga TV hizi place zenye unaona hizi mashimo. Wote wao kwa TV wanaona nikienda judgment.
Judgment inakuanga siku kubwa ya kila
mtu. Unaweza inyongwa ama uachiliwe. Sasa kila mtu anataka kuona.
Vitu ni mbili.
Mzee nikauza roho nikatupa kwa choo. Nikasema iko nini? Maskari wote wamenidunga hapa. Ninaenda tu. Nimepigwa pingu mimi naenda. Nikaingizwa kwa Mudiopa. Kotini. Tukaingizwa, nilipelekwa na watu wangapi? Watu 5. wote walikuwa judgment wa hizo mananasi wa Del Monte. Ni wale watu walienda kwa Del Monte wakaiba mananasi, wakapiga watchman, ikaingia robbery stroke to wizi wa mabavu. So pia walikuwa judgment. Nikakaa. Kukaa, kazi tumeachiwa mlango. Kazi manzeni choo. Kurudi. Choo. Kurudi jua wasi.
Wanaheshimu tension.
Tumekaa pale watu wa 6. Hakuna mtu anaongelesha mwingine. Tukakaa kidogo. Koplo Ruto akakuja. Kuna fande alikuwa kabisa yangu saitwa Koplo Ruto. Akasema kila mtu toka nje, panga line hapa. Si watu wakapanga line. Akasema watu wote watano wale watu vijana wa mananasi au wanarudishwa judgment yao iko tayari. Ya mtu iko tayari ni Eric. Nikajiuliza, ushetamani siku ni wewe.
Unatamani yako irushwe kama mawe.
Mpaka nikajiuliza, yani mama ameona tu yangu namaliza tu, yani nyonge tu. Kwa akili yangu najiuliza hivyo jo mzee. Najiuliza na si angesema tu yangu mimi nirudi tu kwanza huko. Nika tense, nikakuja nikapigwa pingu. Unaona vile wamesema nisomewa chemba, hata mimi nilisomewa chemba. Kuna open court na kuna chemba. Nikaangalia kidogo, akasema Eric, do you know what is robbery? Yes. Una understand English or Swahili? Nikasema English, both. Akanambia, okay, robbery is recognition, identification, stroke exhibit. Nikikupata na moja na kunyonga. Nikasema sawa. Akaanza na kuniingiza. Mlalamisho hii kesi ni kweli, alidhibitisha kweli wewe umetenda hii kitendo. Ukiwachilia unajua unaanza na kutupwa, unaanza na kuingizwa. Mwenye hii kitendo alisema kwamba amekudhibitisha, amejua vizuri ni wewe. Nini. Akasema but akisema hivyo akisoma ati nimeingia ati alidhibitisha. Buda nilikuwa na faint. Ushaona wale watu maskari walikuwa ni kama wale watu wa riswa, wale wa renting oil, wale wa kushikilia ukidundu wangu ile pup. Walikuwa nyuma, sasa mimi najua tu mimi naenda kudunda, nikasikia mpaka aliniulizaga Eric, are you paying attention? Jua leo na siko huko. Mimi najua nimeenda. Nilisikia tu amesema tu but the prosecution side could not prove beyond the reasonable doubt kwamba ndio umetenda hiki kitendo. Kwa hivyo kote inabudi kukunyonga ila kukuachilia huru. Nilimwambia yuona thank you, nikatoa thao. Nilikuwa nao kaka kamfuko kadogo. Nikatoa thao nikapatia askari alikuwa hapo kando, nikamwambia afanye.
Hiyo si ni makosa mengine?
Nilimwambia tafadhali chukua hii 1000 niletee chakula, sijai kula maisha yangu yote. Akaniuliza gari, nikamwambia
sawa. Kaploti ngoma zake ziko YouTube, search Kaploti. Ndrendende anafanya comedy, search Ndrendende utapata comedy zake. Hii conversation wish tunaweza waleta tena. Tutatry tuone kama show inaweza allow ama time inaweza allow, but it's a very very interesting conversation na maybe kitu yote tunaweza saidia ya sema kama in good faith. We are happy to do that as a Weekend Edition family ama? Yes. Wazi. Asanteni sana. Thank you for joining us at home.
Now, you can get your Uber ride with a phone call. Call 0800 722 000 to ride.
NTV continues to bring you great entertainment, news and sports shows. Stay tuned to NTV. For free-to-air set-top boxes and digital TVs, please ensure your aerial is pointed for optimum picture. Then, rescan your set-top box to refresh the channels. When search is complete, scroll until you find your favorite channel under the name NTV or ADN NTV. Choose channel 91 on GoTV, 271 on DSTV, 106 on StarTimes, 13 on Zuku, and we're also on Signet. NTV, turning on your world.
Dr. Francis Atwoli and Kotu would like to invite you to the 42nd General Council of the Organization of Africa Trade Union Unity to be held at Sarova Stanley Hotel in Nairobi. The theme for the 5-day conference will be Ending Violence and Harassment at the World of Work. The conference will also be live on NTV, 17th of September 2019 at 10 a.m.
Go get the stove.
Ni kama haiko.
What?
Kapatia mtu wa marimari akatu exchange na pegs.
My mini-me on his new bike. #goals, #child support.
Flying. Wewe tax au upate nimengoa mlango. Nikasafisha kila kitu kwa keja.
Sipaida wewe na kutambua.
I need more money for Liam's upkeep. That 50,000 is not enough.
Yes, season 4.
Welcome to Turkana University College. Turkana University is a center of research, innovation, and technological development. Apply now for our January, May, and September intakes. Turkana University, the cradle of knowledge.
You find retinoblastoma is commoner before the age of 5 because these tissues are still developing?
Discrimination has been there because all my primary life and high school life, I never had any desk mate because they thought it was a disease that can, go around affecting people.
Please look into that. You just need to shine a torch and you can be able to tell something is not right.
The Federation of Kenya Employers, FKE, invites you to the 3rd Employer of the Year Awards, Air and Gala Dinner at the Radisson Blu, Upper Hill, Nairobi on Friday, 20th September 2019 from 6 p.m.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated PG. It may contain scenes unsuitable for children under the age of 10.
Hello and welcome.